Well, I'm live already, but it's just on the stream starting page.
Yeah. And then right now, we don't have the intros or anything yet for the new stuff. We're going to wait till the playoffs are done. Tease, tease, tease. I'm going to wait to share. No Sports Dynasty is here. And we got playoffs coming. The playoffs are coming. Playoffs are coming today. Come on now. I'm trying to get this thing shared, motherfucker. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, and now I can hear myself. That's never good.
I always make sure the volume's down when I'm
share it. I am like, whoops. I'm surprised that my fiance even wants to hear my voice. So she's got to wake up to me every single day. It's weird, man. Things people do for love. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to North Sports Dynasty. I am one half of the host here of North Sports Dynasty, Andrew Faubert. To my, depending on where you are, but to my left is Mr. Alex Loosemore. Say hi.
Hello.
And we have our NFC analyst of the Arizona Cardinals, Mr. Chris Woroschuk. How are you doing today?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, and welcome, everybody. It's playoff time. We got playoffs starting in about 2 hours and 28 minutes or 23 minutes, probably, I think, until kickoff. We're going to be having the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders going at it, and then we're going to have a Freeze Bowl tonight. The New England Patriots going to Buffalo to play the Bills. Good matchups.
Speaking of that, did you guys hear that Viagra thing?
Yes. That was hilarious.
Who the hell was it? Bart Scott, I think, said that they were used to take Viagra to keep blood pumping through their veins when for cold games, and he thinks that Josh Allen and Dawson Knox take it. I was like, no.
Don't listen to him.
I don't want to picture. I don't want to picture a bunch of NFL players running around tackling each other with erections. It's just not a thing I want to think about.
Nope, that's a trap and a half. Speaking of a trap and a half,
I read that. And I was at work. I think I was at work, and I was around break. My boss was saying something to me, and it exploded laughing. And he's like, "Well," I'm like, "Oh, bro, you got to hear this."
Can you imagine just Josh Allen fumbling the ball because he hit his own erection? Just like, oh shit,
no.
No, I don't need that. No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to hear a little bit more of this, and to get a lot of more people to hear more of this, remember to like and share and follow North Sports Dynasty. Share this show so everybody can see. We're talking playoffs. We're talking a couple of dynasty targets that you guys are going to be wanting to go after and what basically they will cost for you. And just an overall hour of fun talking football. That's what we do on Saturdays. My kids are upstairs being respectively calm. That's not
for now. For now, yeah.
It's quiet, and that's weird. So let's get right down.
Quiet's never good when you have kids.
Well, I know the son is sleeping right now, or is recharging, as I like to call it sometimes. He's just sitting there. He's like, I'm gonna wake up. And because, of course, it's my kid. So let's get into some of these matchups. We're going to go over each game one by one, talk about some of the key players, and talk about what we think is going to happen. I have 3 bets out this weekend for football, and we will get into those bets in a second when I pull them up to make sure I have all the appropriate odds and I can see if anything did change on those as well, because I'm pretty confident in these 3 picks. I'm not going to lie. So let's start with it. Las Vegas is going to Cincinnati. One of the weirder games for the playoffs. Raiders coming in with one hell of a win over the Chargers.
The game of the season.
Yeah, one of them for sure. There's a couple of them that I enjoyed, but that one was I turned it on because it was going to overtime, and I was like, "There's no fucking way. There's no way." And even my Kim was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Well, if both of these teams tie, they both go to the playoffs."
Oh man,
what?
That was crazy. I've never seen so many people cheer for a tie in my life.
And they were going to go for it. They actually were like, let's go for
until
the tie.
Chargers called that timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, Staley's like,
Staley.
did I send you that meme, that dealer meme?
Yeah.
It was like Brandon Staley at the casino. Sir, you have 20. Staley, hit me. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Like, sir, I have 2 aces on me. Hit me.
Hit me.
Was that from Austin Powers? I like to live dangerously.
Yeah. Like, never understand. Like,
Nope.
never understand that timeout. I can't get it.
The best stat from that game, though, for sure, as I pull like a dog hair off the top of that thing. That thing is huge. Wow. The best stat from that I saw, because I had to go back and watch it afterwards. Herbert on 4th down, 6 for 6 for 106 yards. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, so I was watching like I told you, I watched that Bridget Case on Sundays during football on Twitch. Yeah, so I was watching her, and she said that she was pretty sure the Chargers go for it on 4th down more than any team in the NFL.
That might be right.
Detroit got that this year.
Well, yeah.
They set the record for most 4th down attempts in a season.
I know the Steelers had it.
Maybe it was they had the most 4th down conversions then, or something. There's something wild, like something crazy about the amount of times they went for it on 4th down and got it. I know the Cardinals did it a lot, but I don't think nearly as much as the Chargers.
I know the Steelers, like 4 or 5 years ago, Tomlin made it a point to basically not punt it and just go for it on 4th downs, and it kind of cost them their season. But they also went 8-8 that season, so I'm like, how?
Well, there was something that came out I saw on Twitter like years ago. So it was some high school coach. He's never kicked a ball. They don't kick field goals. They don't kick extra points. They don't punt. They go for points, and he like had like some mathematical reasoning behind it. He's like, if I punt from like our own 10. They're going to get the ball at the 50. They're for sure going to get a field goal. Yep. I may as well go for it because they're for sure getting a field goal. If I don't get it and they get the ball on the 5, then I get the ball back in like 5 minutes. Whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, I'm getting the ball back with lots of time on the clock. So it makes a lot of sense to a point. But down in like distance is where it doesn't make sense to me. But like you go for it on like 4th and 30, you're like, what are you doing, man?
4th and 30 from your own 3.
Well, that's like Cliff Kingsbury, man. Suspect calls sometimes. Like 4th and 2, I will punt it. 4th and 12, Kyler, get the first down. I'm like, what the fuck? We didn't go for it on 4th and 2. Why are we going for it on 4th and 12?
At least you didn't go for it on 3rd and 9 from your own 4? Lose your job because of it. Joe Judge.
Oh.
Like what? The quarterback sneak? Like what the hell?
And you know what? I think if Gettleman was still there, he keeps his job, honestly. I think it's because Gettleman retired that he lost his job.
Yeah. Yeah, Gettleman was like, no, I'm retiring. I
can't handle this shit no more. I'm out.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a lot easier, man. I'm not doing this no more.
He did pretty much the same. He did the same thing Antonio Brown did, just a little more respectably. He's like, nope. I'm out.
A little bit more.
I'm out. Bye.
So this Chargers and Bengals game. This game right now, currently sitting at, if I'm not mistaken, I had it at 5.5 for the Bengals. Now the line has moved to 6. So they're saying the Bengals are almost to be winning by a touchdown. What do you guys think? Let's start with.
I have no problem with that. I think if there's a team that's going to be KC, it's going to be Cincinnati.
Interesting.
I don't think the Bills are good enough to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So I think Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati in the AFC. Like as a whole.
I do too.
So like, I mean, the Raiders. No, they're going to walk the Raiders. No problem.
You think they're going to walk the Raiders? So you would take the Bengals -6 then at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
100%. Jamar Chase got like 75 touchdowns. I would not be surprised to see Chase have another like 3 touchdown, 200-yard performance at all. Like not at all.
Now I will say the one thing that might kind of push this a little bit closer is if Max Crosby goes off, because while they've played well, that Bengals offensive line still isn't that great. So, and Max Crosby's a hell of a pass rusher. So if you're gonna have to sack him like close to 5 times though to make this a game, I think.
Yeah, see, the Bengals have shown.
I'd say 5+. Like you need 5 and then a couple. Like you got to keep that guy scared, because if Joe Burrow's confident and he's not scared, he's damn near as good as anybody in the league.
Yeah,
if he's confident. He's got the arm power. He's got the knowledge. He can clearly see downfield. He's got the receivers to catch the ball.
Yeah.
You got to, yeah, you're right. You got to get him on the ground and you got to hit him every play. Like you have to, like, even if it's not a sack, like hit him, make contact with him every single play. Be like, hey, just so you know, I'm fucking here.
Yeah, because I've even stated that the Bengals will need more of Joe Mixon this game than anything in order to win. I just think that the Raiders, they don't have the parts in the backfield to necessarily hold off the entirety of the wide receiving core. But we've also seen new young teams go to the playoffs and just kind of get that like flash in the pan where they're like, shit, like what the hell? What is this? Look at this pressure.
To be fair, neither team really has playoff experience here. So
Derek Carr's never started a playoff game.
No,
wait, no, that's right.
Never started a playoff game.
He took them to the playoffs, but broke his leg just before the playoffs.
Yeah, he's never started a playoff game.
And I think if I would lean more towards the Derek Carr because I have actually got one of my 3 bets so far for this weekend that I'm comfortable in is the Raiders covering that 5.5. I do think the Raiders could lose by 4, maybe even 5. That 6 I could definitely see as well, and I would be a little bit pissed off if that actually did happen. But I could also see this game getting a little bit closer because the Raiders had a lead of the last game against a really good team, and then they showed that they could consistently keep that lead until the defense is the one that gave it up. I do think that they could actually go the opposite way in this one, where that offense, which is really, really good, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller's supposed to be in for this game. That Josh
that'll make a big difference.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs being in the running game as well. I think that's going to help against the Bengals defense to make it a little bit closer. But I agree. I do think that the Bengals are going to win this one.
I still think, the Bengals, like, just comparing offenses, like not even considering the defenses, like the Bengals offense is significantly better.
Well, and another thing is we previewed a little bit of what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo. It might be nasty in Cincinnati tonight.
Yep. And that's where I think the offensive line for the Bengals becomes the
break out the Viagra.
Break out the Viagra. Oh my God. I still can't believe that. You imagine some of these players actually listen to that and we're like, I'm gonna try it just in case, just to make sure.
Maybe that would work. Like
they're just sitting on the sidelines, just like they're in their coat, and people are wondering, like, why can't T. Higgins go out there? You know, is he injured and stuff like that? I'd be like, nah, man, he's just growing a 3rd leg at this point, man. We can't have him galloping out there. So, what about you, Alex? What are you leaning towards right now?
Oh, I think the Bengals are gonna take over this game offensively, and I like what Chris said about the Bengals kind of matching with the Chiefs here. Mm-hmm. I think to play the Chiefs, you're gonna have to match the firepower, and I think it's gonna be a shootout. Unless you're somebody like the Titans that's this elite running team and can just keep Mahomes off the field, you're going to have to go shot for shot with them, and the Bengals can certainly do that.
The Bengals have one fucking hell of an offense, and I still can't believe that it actually got them this far. It's actually quite surprising that it has got them this far.
Zach Taylor was on the hot seat entering the season, and now he's up for Coach of the Year.
Which we even talked about, too. And I had even stated, if they do that, they're ruining it because sometimes they throw these head coaches out way too soon before they can actually get that full development. Things have to happen. Like the fact that, you know, your coaching staff and your players have to still mentally get over the fact that they're making their career and their money in a town called Cincinnati where they have no practice facility, essentially. Okay?
Where you have to walk across a road to get to your practice facility.
Where no offense, like they've had 3 or 4 times throughout history where they've had like a dominant streak, and they're not as bad. And I hate bringing this up. They're not as bad as what the Lions have had to endure, because the Lions have only had really like one time in the NFL era where they were like a dominant team. And just to let you know, I was talking to Kim about this, I think last night or the night before. And I'm like, listen, I'm not insulting Alex's Lions. Alex would sit there and add more to this, like more insult to injury.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not afraid to say how bad my team is.
No, like I even told her, I was like, I think I've hopped on the Lions like bandwagon here. Yeah, even though there's no bandwagon essentially, but I'm starting to hop on the Lions here and just hope that they win a Super Bowl now in my lifetime, just so I can watch you get so drunk.
I roped a few of you guys in.
Oh yeah,
Johnny Hook too.
There's a few people who have even reached out at work. This is a funny thing. There's a lot of people at work right now who are getting into the playoff mentality. They have a sales rep who's a diehard Buccaneers fan to the point where his son is named Buck. I kid you not. I thought this was a joke. I thought people were messing with me. And then I saw his little cubicle where his office is. It's decked out in Buccaneer stuff, like it to the T. And I'm like, sweet. There's a Packers fan that I work alongside, and he's making fun of me. He's like, "You gonna have to go through me." And I was like, "I did it last year. I'll do it again."
Everybody has the NFC Championship game is the game every year where somebody gets to beat the Green Bay Packers. Like,
yeah. And this year, it's going to be either the Buccaneers or the Cardinals, I think. And there a lot of people at work. We've
the Bucs are the winner of that Monday night game, essentially.
Well, I think what's going to happen, because at work there's 4 of us that laid these little side bets, and I was like, besides say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'll even take the Buccaneers completely out of it. I was like, what team do you actually think will go on and do something? Like 3 of the dudes said the Cardinals. All 3 of them took the Cardinals. And I was like, so I'm going to sit here and take the Packers? And they're like, go ahead. But like, Kyler, man, and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, and honestly, one of the dudes exactly like Chris, where he was like, I think JJ Watt's the greatest fucking signing we could all say this offseason for sure, if not in the last 3 years, just for what he does to the defense.
I never said he was the greatest signing. I just said it was a great signing.
No, I know for you were like, this is a great signing for us. Is it the great signing in the NFL? Maybe not, but for us, we need this.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said last week, it should be illegal to have Jones and Watt, and we have both. It's fine.
Yeah.
I do think even last year for my Buccaneers, it was illegal for us to have that defense as healthy and as good as it was.
And you know what? Screw it. I'm going to say this right now. I don't think the Packers play in the NFC Championship this year.
Oh.
Because you're either going to have to play, depending on how the Monday matchup goes, and you're playing either, if the Niners win, you're playing the Niners.
Yep.
Which is not a great matchup for them.
Nope.
Or you're playing the winner of the Cardinals-Rams game, which is a horrible matchup for them, I think, personally.
Yeah.
So I don't know that Green Bay's a lock to make the NFC Championship this year. I think the NFC Championship could be in Ray J.
And Raymond James?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I'm leaning towards that right now.
I have said I would not be mad with a Buccaneers Cardinals NFC Championship. Because no matter what, I know Chris would be a little bit more pissed off. I would be okay if the Buccaneers lost to the Cardinals. I think I'd be more accepting of that than if it was like, say, to the Rams. I was like, I don't want to lose twice to the Rams like this. Like they traded for Stafford just to beat my Buccaneers and go to the Super Bowl and then get dominated by the Chiefs. Like, no, thank you. And because there's no way that 2 teams would be able to host the Super Bowl back-to-back years and then win it. Like, nah.
How funny would it be though if both of them beat the Chiefs?
That would be awesome. I want right now, obviously, my Buccaneers to win. I'm still holding that. But as Alex knows this, and I think Chris knows this, and a few of the fans know this, remember, like and share North Sports Dynasty, ladies and gentlemen. I stay quiet right now. And I think I'm going to do that every single time my Buccaneers.
Why do you think I've stopped talking every single time you're like, oh, the Cardinals are going to go all the way? I'm like, maybe.
Don't speak, bro. My team sucks.
Well, but that's the thing is, me and Chris, when we met and stuff like that, we were talking Dynasty or fantasy football. And we were like, our teams aren't bad, but they're not that great. And he was talking about the good runs that he has had and my Super Bowl back in the day. And I was like, honestly, to be honest, one of these days, our teams are going to be so dominant. We're going to have to pick like this other team to cheer for and stuff. And that's why we got you, Alex. We got your Lions now. And I want nothing more than for your Lions to win the Super Bowl, just so I can see you walk down White Ave or wherever the heck we are and just flip everyone off. Be like, wait, where were you 20 years ago, asshole? set.
I'll be the guy standing behind him and be like, look at the tags on that jersey. It's brand new. He just hopped on the bandwagon yesterday. That jersey's brand new, man. He was a Pats fan 2 weeks ago.
That's why even at work, and a few times, actually not at, say, when me and Alex worked together, because everybody knew before the championship I was a Buccaneers fan. So no one knew I hopped on that bandwagon. If anything, we were calling people out for hopping on the bandwagon. Be like, don't you get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But like, I've had people be like, oh, yeah, you're a Buccaneers fan now. And so my thing is, I'm a Buccaneers fan. Wait, since before this championship, like since before 02 and all that. And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, listen, I still got my Evans jersey from like the last batch of players, right? Like come on.
I have two. Yeah, same here. I have two Reebok Fitzgerald jerseys.
Yeah, exactly.
from when Matt Leinart was the fucking quarterback, and I wanted to shoot myself in the face. And then they're like, "Oh, maybe we'll give Kurt Warner a shot." I'm like, "Maybe we should, because Matt Leinart's a piece of shit. This guy's terrible. Maybe we should try it. That guy's won a Super Bowl, and
he came close.
I'm not gonna lie. I think what's the video there, or the movie, the Kurt Warner movie, it looks pretty good.
It looks really good.
Like like
I want to see it. It looks really good.
As good as it looks.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's obviously Hollywood reenactment, and they'll add a little bit of drama to it here and there.
Yeah, but it's not like the reason I think it's going to be really good is it's not like a there's no like major producer for it. Like it's like very like, I guess for lack of a better word, independent. Like it's not made by like, like a big producer. It was just like made. There's no big name actors in it really. Like, you know what I mean?
No, except for like if they want playing Kurt Warner.
Yeah, but even still, like you could have got somebody better to play Kurt Warner if you got like a bigger producer to do it, but you probably would have sold out on some of the story too a little bit. Yeah. So I feel like the story is going to be told like true to it, what it should be.
And that's what I want too. Like, I know they'll never do like a Hollywood reenactment of the of like say the Patriots stuff, because they'll definitely throw in all the cheating stuff and they'll add a little bit more to it. You know what I mean?
I want to see like fuck a Hollywood reenactment. I want to see like the Last Dance type of thing with the Patriots though, and like in like 20 years, and like straight up be like, and like have a conversation with like Bill and Tom where we're like, yeah, we flattened those footballs for sure.
We cheated. So what?
Like 20 years from now, they're like, yeah, we definitely took some air out of those balls.
We cheated, and then you go,
exactly, right.
But see, I think by that time, like we got cancel culture and all that going on right now. By that time, they'll be like, no, get Bill and Tom out of that Hall of Fame, get their names, statues, the fuck out of everything. They'd be like, ugh. Going through just some of the comments here. Bucks will win tomorrow. Let's go. I agree. Niners this weekend.
Oh yeah, because they have to play the Eagles. Like, the only way the Eagles win that game is if they sign Nick Foles.
Nope. Nope. Listen, I remember what happened in 2002. I remember what had to happen in order to get to the Super Bowl. I remember being the laughingstock to the Philadelphia Eagles fan base. Maybe not myself, but a lot of people here at Bucks Report, of being the laughingstock to Eagles fan base from the late 70s essentially to the early to late 90s. And then that switched over. I don't need that switching back. If there's one fan base,
don't need any bad karma.
No. There's two fan bases in the NFL that I don't like. I just don't.
Cowboys and Eagles.
No. I can fuck with the Cowboy fans. Okay, you fuck the Saints fans. Those son bitches can fuck right off. And they're
you
all
hate the Saints, hey? Like you fuck. Like it's not even like like it's like aggressive. Like I understand rivalries, but that's aggressive.
Nah, dude. Listen,
Is it why? Is it because you guys couldn't get a touchdown in that one game against them, or what? Like
last year. This was last year. Like
I know. I'm just being an asshole.
I know. A lot of people think that I've hated the Saints since the beginning because I'm a Buccaneers fan. No. If there was any team that I actually detested for a long time, it was probably the Patriots. Just I think, and it went with everybody else. I just hated the fact that I had to hear them all the time. I want to hear about some other teams. The Saints, when they beat us the first game, I knew they were going to beat us the first game last year. And I was like, that's inevitable. That's just 100% inevitable. And then the second game came around. I was like, I thought we were playing better than this. What the fuck? Then we had to go play them in the playoffs. And those 2 losses, and just the Saints fan on social media are like horrible. Just POSs all the time. So like you would drop one little comment in somewhere, and then you'd have like 12 of them come in and be like, you stupid little blah. And I'm like, listen, it's so easy to bring up your Super Bowl and the fact that it was literally handed to you because, oh, I'm sorry what happened to your city. Here you go. But the fact, yeah. But the fact of the matter is even without that season, my Buccaneers have still technically done better. Take our 1 Super Bowls away and even take last year away, Buccaneers have still done better than the Saints have ever done. I don't see people with paper bags on their heads in Tampa Bay and Raymond James, only because, not going to lie, it would be really hot in there. So
they die.
Like actually die. Like heat stroke. They'd think the person's sleeping up on the mez, and they'd be like, can we just call 911 and get that person the hell out of here before they roll over, please? That'd be great. But no, I don't fuck with the Saints. But the other side of it is those Eagle fans. The Buccaneers,
Eagle fans, they're just crazy. Like I don't find that annoying. They are annoying, but I don't hate them. Like they're annoying. They're crazy.
Their own team.
Yeah, like I just like whatever, man. You guys do what you do. I'm gonna sit over here and watch football like a human. Go back to the jungle, buddy. Like
the only thing I don't like about them is trying to go watch a game at their stadium as an opposing fan. Like that's the only.
Why would you? Why would you go to Philly? What's?
Well, I mean, what if you got to go through there? You know what I mean? Like you just go and watching a game or something like that, right? Or just a flight over that you're delayed for. You're like, fuck it, I'll go watch an Eagles game, right? It's like you can't. If Viking fans know exactly what I'm talking about. So.
No.
I saw this comment and I'm just like,
oh God,
cool. No, but sure. I want to see Bucks versus Pats Super Bowl. I do too, but I also don't. The reason for it is because me and a very close friend of mine, when we were like 15, made an agreement that if the Bucks and the Patriots ever made it to the Super Bowl, the winner of that gets $1,000. And I don't just have $1,000 to give up right now. Okay. So don't need that.
And you know what? It's very hard to beat Bill Belichick twice in a row.
It is. Feel the same way.
I don't think the Pats will go to the Super Bowl just based on the fact of just like an inexperienced thing. Like that, not that they're not good enough by any means. It's just that team's so young. I think they'll get beat by somebody like, you know, even if they get past the Bills, they'll end up getting beat by Mahomes or
Tennessee or something like that.
Tennessee, yeah, exactly, right? Like they just don't have it's such a young team, which is good. Like I mean, for the future of the Pats, because they recovered a lot faster than a lot of people thought they would have. But
and they're in a good position in the draft too. Like wherever they end up finishing, to get a fucking hell of a good player.
Yeah, no, they're gonna get a good player in the draft, and they're gonna get. You know, Mac Jones at least a playoff game. I do think they could beat the Bills, but at least one playoff game under his belt. And
there's one player, and I'll state this right now, just because I want it on one of these live shows, so I can go back and clip it just in case. There's one player that I think the Patriots will draft if they can. I even think they would trade up a little bit to go grab him, and it's not a player that a lot of people would think. Nakobe Dean, the linebacker. I think they want their next.
I don't think they're going to have to trade up. I think he's going to fall.
You think he will, eh?
Unfortunately.
I think he might.
He's small.
Yeah, I think right in that weird little range where they might be like, okay, if we're drafting at 24, this team at 22 might like him a little bit more, so we'll trade up to 21 or something like that, right?
He's going to go in the 20s, and he's going to arguably be the best value pick of the first round.
By far. And I think it's just because they don't have Hightower, or they know that Hightower and company on that linebacking core is starting to get a little bit older. And it's just
a little.
Yeah, right? Now all of a sudden they can put in arguably, and I'm going to state this too, because I've watched his tape. He's the one player whose tape that I really, really like out of most of the positional players that I've seen. He could be a poor man's Devin White that turns into just a solid, like 1A type Devin White. He can be that good. Oh, yeah.
That was a bit more of a thumper mentality.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
That heavy hitter, but yeah, I see what you mean with that Devin White.
Yeah, because Devin White's got that too, and you've slowly seen Devin White's game become more that middle linebacker, I know Javonte's not going to be here forever, so let me learn from the greatest linebacker of this last 20 years. Y'all can fuck off with your key crews and shit. You're fucking statistically.
Also remember that like Ray Lewis, Patrick Willis.
Well, I mean, those are Hall of Famers, though. Let's be real here.
But they also played in the last 20 years.
Yeah, like
their career.
20 years is a pretty long span. Like, there's a lot of people that played in 20 years.
This is true. Jamal Charles was in there. Tim.
Yeah,
Tebow.
like there's like you're really stretching on like the whole last 20 years.
Yeah,
thing.
D'Angelo Hall.
You go down to like maybe the last 4 years. That makes
then I'll give you that.
Yeah, but the last 20, well. Yeah.
Bucks Skull Gang in the house says, I want to see Bucks Cardinals in the NFC Championship game. I think.
Yeah, so do we.
Yeah, me and Chris do too.
Yeah, so do we. I won't talk to Andrew for a week, but
yeah, I think we would just send like one message and be like, "Yeah, I'll talk to you on Monday. Cool, bye."
Yeah.
The one week.
I'll come in the show. I'll come on the show that week and I'll figure out how to mute him so I'll just sit here and talk to Alex. I won't even acknowledge his presence.
Yeah, Alex will get you for sure. He'd be like,
I want to hear your voice. I'll turn on subtitles or I'll figure something out.
Literally, the 1 week last year, we knew the Lions were going to lose to the Bucks. And at work, it was always just like, we'd look at each other and just be like, fuck you. Like, that was it. Like,
for a week.
Nothing all week. I knew they were going to get their ass kicked, but I was just like, I'm not letting him out.
That's like one of my best friends is a big Cowboys fan, and after the Cardinals beat the Cowboys, I sent her snaps, I sent her texts, and she doesn't ignore me. Like, we talk all the time, and like she opened my snaps, no response. None answered my text. And then I saw her because she's very prominent on Twitter. So I saw her tweeting. I'm like, oh, I thought you were dead. You weren't answering my shit. She didn't answer my tweets. I like made a post on Facebook about it. I made a wanted missing persons poster. I was like, and I sent it to a bunch of people. I was like, hey, last scene when Dak fumbled the ball. She's like, man, you're a fucking asshole. I was like, what?
Fat Mike, Chicago Sports. I hope the Eagles whip that ass. I'm good. Good to see you, buddy. He's a Bears fan. He's a big Bears fan. So
yeah.
And he knows I'm not going to make fun of his Bears because he knows that I actually think that the Bears in a year, depending on what they actually do, could very easily change that franchise around.
They should hire a real coach. I
think they will. I mean, I did hear that they're interviewing Brian Flores.
Everybody's interviewing Brian Flores.
I was like, the Bears interviewed like 6 people already.
I'm trying to think. Why can't I think of my defensive court? Todd Bowles. They interviewed Todd Bowles. And I'm like, listen.
He's still not a head coach.
No. And I agree. But if you want to utilize that defense and you even get just an OC that can blend Justin Fields into that offense really, really well and just let him throw for like 4,500 yards per season and just cut down the interceptions every year that he progresses, kind of like a Josh Allen, the Bears could be the next Buffalo Bills. And I will state that 100%.
With the right coach for sure. I wouldn't say Todd Bowles is that coach though.
No, and
I think that's Brian Flores.
Brian Flores for sure. Brian Flores, absolutely.
Or Brian Dable. I still am holding true that I think the Bears would do fucking fantastic with Brian Dable as their head coach.
They would do unreal with him, I think.
Yeah, because
thanks for the follow.
What's that?
Sorry, I had a follower on Twitch.
Nice.
Thanks for the follow.
Nice. Yeah, everybody, remember to like, share, follow North Sports Dynasty. We got Chris here almost every weekend now. He's gonna be talking about the cards a little bit as well. Alex, of course, we all know, and as people have joined into the show, they're like, listen, I like talking about the Bucs' success, but let's rebuild the Lions together now, like as a fan base. So remember to like, share, follow North Sports Dynasty. We appreciate it as always. And Fat Mike, I appreciate you tuning in, man. Always hated those teams like the Eagles and the Saints. I agree. Remember paper bags 1976 for the Bucs. Okay. Maybe that does help with the heat. Who knows? Like if you just wear it properly, like actually put a mouthpiece in there so you can breathe.
Vents in the back.
Yeah. I probably missed your response, but I got you when I get to Ray J. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, enjoy that game, man.
Yeah, enjoy that game. Send a shout out. Show us the video or send us the video, and I'll make sure we get it up on the show here for you, buddy. My upsets for the week is the Steelers over the Chiefs and the 49ers over the Cowboys.
Okay, that's that. I've been thinking about that. That's such an interesting take for me because like I thought about that today. I'm like, realistically, like what the last time I checked, the line was like I think they were like 13-point favorites or some shit.
Yeah.
Something crazy. Like, it was insane. The Chiefs were. But, like, and Ben Roethlisberger said that he doesn't think they have a fucking chance. So Ben Roethlisberger doesn't think they have a chance. I mean, we haven't talked about it yet, but I don't think you two think that they have a chance. I don't think they have a chance. My mom doesn't watch football. She doesn't think they have a chance. Like, nobody thinks they have, which is exactly why they have a chance, because everybody thinks they don't. So Big Ben is like, I mean, not the Big Ben that won a Super Bowl, but he's still.
They got Najee Harris.
He can still throw the ball, and you got Najee Harris. Yeah, like.
Not only that,
you go out there, you have some fun, you do. Yeah, I don't know.
Ben is thrown.
It's a trap game to me.
It is a trap game because Ben has thrown 500-yard games in his older age. Like, Ben has had some fucking games if he needs to.
Yeah, especially against Pittsburgh.
So on my go ahead.
Oh, on my Twitch here, just one of the followers said, my upset special of the week is Pittsburgh 30-27 over KC.
Damn.
That's
I think if the Steelers beat the Chiefs, it's gonna be like 17-14. It's got to be.
It's gonna have to be like 30-27 though, because you have to match what Mahomes can do. Mahomes will put up 27. 100%. I promise you that. That is like, so for me, this is a very like, if that's gonna happen, which I'm not saying it would, but if that was to happen, Ben's got to throw like Andrew said, 500 yards. Najee's got to have like 2 touchdowns and like 180 yards on the ground.
Now,
and it's gonna have to be offense.
The bet that you want to make on this game, though, is that plus 13 for the Steelers. Like, that is almost essentially one of my locks. Like, it is one of the 3 bets that I have. We talked about the Raiders. I have them at plus 5.5. And you get minus 115 odds on that. So you're not losing that much cash, but you're also basically almost doubling your money. You're still getting minus 115 odds on the Steelers covering plus 13. That's money. That's money right there.
And
even
also,
if they
like,
get blown out.
Yeah, one thing with this game too, like one thing, I mean, just noticing from this year, the Chiefs' offensive line hasn't been like the best. It hasn't been terrible, but it hasn't been the best. And TJ Watt's on the other side of the ball, and he's like, he had how many sacks this season? He became the record holder, I'm pretty sure.
He tied it,
He tied it, So
people are like, oh, it's a 17-game season.
That player can be a difference maker if he can, like, same as like we said earlier about getting to Joe Burrow. If you can get to Mahomes, that's what the Bucs did last year. They beat him up, man. They beat him up.
Damn right.
They took him up behind the bar and beat the shit out of him. Like, that's what they got to. That's what the Steelers would have to do. Watt's got to be all over Mahomes all game, right in his face, hit him. Hit him as hard as you can, and just hit him, rattle him, get him running around and making mistakes.
Even when the Bucs hit him last year, there was a point in that Super Bowl where the Chiefs, like, they were turning it around, or at least Patrick Mahomes was. And everybody else,
right before he hit Tyreek Hill in the forehead.
But that's the thing. All those catches happened. Like, it's not
where Mahomes was like this with the ground, and he threw it right to the guy. I couldn't believe that play.
For me, that's when I was like, if he had actually caught that and that went in for a touchdown, they would have gotten the full 8 points, I think. So at that point, it would have been 31-17. Then I'm like, nope. This is where the whole thing changes. That's where Patrick Mahomes probably would have started playing his best. So
if you let him start getting confident, kind of like Joe Burrow, just almost count yourself out. Like, it's over.
Is it? Sorry, I just saw this one. Is it Kyron Williams? Is the Bama?
Kyron Williams is the running back from Notre Dame. I think he means receiver Jameson Williams.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, if you're looking at running backs, there, Buck Skull Gang. If we're looking early, like I said, I want the Breece Hall or Isaiah Spiller. But that Kenneth Walker from Michigan State is starting to look very enticing, and even Cook, one of those guys from Georgia,
James Cook.
Yeah, those guys.
Zamir White's going to be awesome. TJ Verdell's going to be awesome when he gets off that ACL tear, which happened early in the season, so he should be ready to go soon. There's going to be a lot of really good running backs going late, and I haven't even mentioned my Michigan guy yet.
Oh, your Michigan?
Haskins.
Yeah, that's right. And
he's going to be one of those like 5th-round picks, I think.
That's why our guy in our Dynasty League, Kyle, there, it's like, listen, Kyle, we already know your plan. You're just running back in this rookie draft. And listen,
there's a lot of them.
Yep. I mean, it happened last year. I think a lot of people, at least in NSD, because I know some people in COVID liked what I did too, because I ended up getting the Elijah Mitchell with the Trey Sermon. And I ended up trading for Javonte, but I had Khalil Herbert for the Bears. I got James Patterson for the Washington football team. So it's one of those things where in these trades, and I'll bring up a dynasty thing again for the offseason. For anybody who's going to start doing dynasty or anybody who does keepers and does the rookie draft that happens every single year, one of the smartest plays to do in any trade that you do from now on, say you were going and trading, I'll just bring up DJ Chark, an injured player, but you know that the high side and the upside eventually is going to be good for him once he comes off that injury, more than likely. That right there, you can go and trade to somebody for a player, for a couple of players, depending on what type they think DJ Chark will be. What you want to do in Dynasty or in Keeper or anything like that, where you have these rookie picks, is ask for a fourth.
Yeah.
Just ask for a fourth. Most of the time, people just like, fucking sure. If it's a fourth that's going to make this deal, go ahead. That fourth round pick, what I try to do anyway, is you look at your roster. You get your taxi squads, you got your bench spots that you have, you got your IR spots, those 3 to 4 taxi spots on average that every league has. You want to fill those with your handcuffs of the actual running backs that you have. So, for example, just throwing some names. You got Jonathan Taylor, a Chuba Hubbard, and a James Conner. We'll just throw those names out there. And let's say in this next upcoming draft, the draft a running back in the 6th and 7th round, respectively, for all those teams. Your 4th round pick should be dedicated to only those players. If they're not available, go and get a wide receiver. But you always want to take those 4th round picks. Sometimes the 3rd round, like late 3rd round picks will have to do it too, because that's where you get your Chubas of last year. Everyone knows like, hey, I'm not going to just go and spend a 1st or 2nd rounder on Chuba because he's not going to play right away. But we know that the obvious injury.
Well, I mean, I knew he was going to play right away because I knew CMC was probably going to get hurt.
Yep. But now that goes into the thing where it's like, how many of us valued that as a 2nd rounder, right? Because even in the 2nd round,
he went in the 2nd round in our league, though.
I think, now
because I was looking at him in the 3rd, and he went in the 2nd. Because I was going to take him. I had a high 3rd, and I didn't take him with my 2nd.
That's right. No, it was Steel Sox.
Yeah. Whatever it ended up being, but I had a high 3rd, and I was like, if he's there at that, whatever it was, I think it was 303.
Yep,
I'm taking him. For sure, I'm taking
Jose, because Jose had him first, and he took him in the mid or late 2nd round. Now that I remember that, yeah. And that's what, so that's where that value starts to come into play that people talk about. Where it's like, the injury and stuff. Like the James Patterson one, for example, the Washington football team, nobody gave a damn. Nobody gave a shit. This guy has been on waivers a couple of times. Dynasty, not usually. If you got those type of running backs on waivers, you got a problem.
However, this just dawned on me, talking about Chuba Hubbard last year and where he went in the draft, I would be curious to know with American leagues where he went.
Right.
Because here in Alberta, Canada, where he's from, that's a name. Like that was a household name. Everybody knew because he's like, this kid's gonna make the NFL. He's from Sherwood Park, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. My kid from Sherwood Park's gonna make the NFL. Like he's gonna get drafted. So a lot of people knew about him, didn't really know how much damage he was gonna do.
Nope.
One guy I know that actually knew and coached Chuba, I think in high school or something. He said he honestly didn't think that he would ever be a starter. He's like, Chuba will get drafted in the NFL. He'll never start ever, not once. And so
I tried out for teams.
That's why.
Chuba.
Yeah. So that's what I mean though. So. Like I said, for our league, he got drafted early, probably because we all know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people in the States probably had other players that they would have chosen in the 2nd round of a dynasty league before Chuba, and that's where he probably would have gone 3rd round, 4th round.
And that's something that me and Alex usually bring up on the shows as well. Is the different places or knowing some of the people that you're in is in your league. Like for example, we've seen in our league last year, not necessarily this year, because it really surprised me he traded Mark Andrews, but Hot Dog and Pop, big Ravens fan, we've seen him go out and acquire Raven players for almost pennies on the dollar sometimes. We're like, damn. right? Like he just really wants Raven players. Now,
yeah, just like when you try to send me Kyler for Patrick Mahomes, as if that's ever a trade I would make.
Exactly. And now in certain leagues, people do it. So for example, this guy over here owns Kyle Trask. Why? Because he knows eventually Kyle Trask is going to see the field, and it's going to entice me to all of a sudden every week, if he starts doing good, to have Kyle Trask as my starting quarterback. He's a very smart person. I've never I think maybe one time, just sneakily, like within a big trade or something like that, tried to sneak in Kyle Trask there. And he's like, oh, no, don't you dare.
Well, Jesse always used to draft Fitzgerald and then offer me a trade the second the draft was over. I was like, man, I know he's not good. He's not a good fantasy player. I love Larry. I got all 3 jerseys. I got the red, the white, and the black. Like he's my favorite player. Like he's like the best Cardinal to ever play. He's hands down my favorite player. But I'm not getting him in fantasy because I know now his value's not there. So stop trying to trade him for me for the good players. Just because I love the man.
That's like
and I'm hoping like there's still time they can sign him before game time on Monday. I'm just throwing that out there if he's watching. We'll take what you do in Monday. I tweeted him after the game last Sunday after they released the schedule. I was like, Larry, what are you doing Monday? Just curious. What are you doing? All season I've been doing that. I'm like, because he said he wasn't just feeling like playing football. I'm like, you feel like playing football yet?
Are you ready?
Asking for a friend. Do you feel like playing now? We're 7-0. Do you feel like playing now?
Your team is ready to win a championship.
Yeah, man.
LFG from Robert McClure. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Take about Mike Green. Mike Green. I'm not sure what that means, my friend. And I was like, any of these guys? No, okay. Just making sure. And I'm going to see my Tampa Bay Lightning. Ew.
You. Immediate reaction. I think he said that thinking you were probably also a Lightning fan and just immediately got shut down.
Everyone at Bucks Report who kind of watches the show, they've started to figure out like, oh, Andrew's a Red Wings fan. And they've started to figure out that like, hey, wait a second. The tail end of your last little run was went through. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, just shut up.
I'm just going to keep saying you're welcome because our guy built your team. So you're welcome.
Yeah. Not only that. Thank you for bringing up that Daddy is home. Daddy is home. Thank you very much for building our fucking team now.
Let's go back to football. I don't want to talk about hockey. As an Oilers fan, I don't want to talk about hockey.
Yeah, Mr. Mike Babcock coming in to save your ass. No, I'm just kidding. But no, the Cronwall, everyone knows in Tampa, the Cronwall suspension is the only reason you guys got that Game 7 win. And I will never, ever go and say otherwise. Because you can't handle the Cronwall. That's all it was. Chiefs beat Steelers and early in season. Well, it's true. They did, yep.
You know what? It's hard to beat them twice. I'm pretty sure the Steelers beat them like 3 times in that game alone. So.
Yep. Go Bucks for life, home, 8-1-3. And then a bunch of other numbers after. Oh, I think those are, 12 is Tom Brady, 45 is Devin White, 54 is Javonte, and 90 is
JPP, right?
I thought JPP was 90 something.
I hope all of the Bucks fans are offended that Andrew didn't know that right off the hop.
Yeah, no, like right off the bat there too.
All of you guys are offended. Is everybody? I would hope you guys are all offended by this.
I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry that I've just been indulging a little bit too much this morning. I totally forgot what number 90 was.
Buddy,
it's got to be JPP.
It's
out of my mind, I could tell you who the Cardinals numbers are.
Could you?
99 JJ Watt. Let's go.
Oh man. By the way, Daniel Williams, thank you for tuning in today, buddy. It's good to see some new viewerships. Tim Witherspoon, thanks for being in here today, buddy. I'm not a Raiders fan, but they're almost like the Giants team had beat the undefeated Patriots. I think they're going to surprise people. And that's kind of where I'm coming from too. I've said that the winner of the Raiders and Bengals game is going to surprise a lot of people. This is not a team that I want to start playing. Just saw that the Steelers activated Juju. That he doesn't move, obviously, the actual point structure. It's been that, yeah.
Tim just owned you. Even I got
Alex
that.
said it. Yeah, Alex said it. He's like, isn't that
Yeah.
JPP? And that's what I kind of was like, fucking yeah, it is, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
Sorry,
Jesus,
Tim.
bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it is his first day. He's new here.
Yeah,
He's really like I said, he was a New England fan like 4 weeks ago.
Whoa.
Whoa.
If there's one thing I wasn't.
He came with Tom Brady, that's all.
Yeah. Whoa.
Ask him who Jameis Winston is. He won't be able to tell you.
I fucking hate Winston. I've even said that.
Bandwagon Bucks fan, right?
What did I say a week ago?
I hate him. Why? I don't know.
Winston, people who love or hate Winston, when asked that, usually will say, "Oh, it's because of all the interceptions and stuff like that." For me, it's like, no, I hate Winston because Winston created you like that out of Kirk Cousins in out of the Washington football team and Kirk Cousins. Like that actually became a thing because they beat us because Winston threw fucking 5 interceptions that game. And that win for the Washington football team ended up being the kicker that put them into the postseason instead of us. So sorry. Tampa Bay Lightning is the best.
So actually, we're we've kind of strayed from what we were planning to talk about all day. But I have a question now. How does it make you feel with Winston in New Orleans? You're just doubling down on the hate.
Listen,
that must keep you up at night.
No, actually. What would keep me up at night for a little bit there was these Saint fans in my DMs being like, Devin White purposely injured Jameis Winston. I'm like, okay.
Oh, boy.
Sure, buddy.
I don't think Saints fans get to complain about purposely getting injured.
That's literally my rebuttal. I was like, didn't you guys just have to pay like millions of dollars in fines for your bounty gate?
I would have just typed Brett Favre.
Yeah.
And just left it at that.
What just happened?
Brett Favre, not a top 10 quarterback of all time. Just saying. And I'll state that on my show every single time. Just saying.
Nope.
What's the matter, Chris?
I'm just having technical difficulties over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand, our igloos are melting usually on Saturdays. It's been really warm up here in Canada, so a lot of issues are going to happen.
We hit positives again, so the igloos are starting to go.
Yeah, literally, I was able to chip ice off of my driveway.
So I was trying to check on that Juju thing. I was trying to open Twitter, and I ended up opening up a bunch of stuff and then ruining my stream for a second. It's fine, though. But yes, the Steelers did, in fact, activate Juju off the IR, and he's expected to play. That's straight from Ian Rappaport.
Nice. So we'll see him dance on the Chiefs logo, take a hit, and be right back out. Okay.
Zagnif Productions says, "What's good, gents? Thank you for tuning in today, too, buddy."
I'm surprised we haven't seen him recently.
No, he's
a Georgia fan.
Yes, he is.
I'm surprised he hasn't been in here talking trash.
No, I hate the
congrats
fact that
on the win, by the way.
Yeah, congrats. I do like seeing other SEC teams win. I would have preferred my Gators not have put anybody on the field this year. It would have been less embarrassing than the actual production they put on the field. So
I think you guys got a good coach, though. I think that's a good step in the right direction.
Hell of a good coach, yeah. Say it was Urban Meyer was a hell of a good coach. Great coach. Great coach, Alex. Thank you. Joe B is going to be dangerous today.
Yeah.
It's a game I am actually excited to watch.
I'm so excited.
When you look at history, the Bengals and the Raiders have always been like those, like the rough and tough, rugged, street type teams. You know what I mean? Like the Bengals have always brought this beautiful, like nasty bunch of players, and the Raiders are just notorious for that and having their fan base be that as well. So yeah. I love this game. I really do. Like no one would have ever predicted the Bengals and Raiders to be playing in the first round of the playoffs this year. Not a single fucking one.
I didn't have either. I had both of them last in their division.
Yeah.
As you can see right there. I was so horribly wrong about that.
I was going to say, so next weekend, or actually, no. We'll do it like the first off-season show. We'll do all of our, what we got right and got wrong. I'm going to tell you right now, the coolest thing that I got right, 100%, the number 3 Bills playing the number 6 Pats in the playoffs. I actually predicted that 100% right.
I'm pretty sure I was a game off on each of these teams. I had the seeding right, but I was a game off on each of them.
I watched one of your NFL editions with Johnny, and I paused it right at a certain spot so I could see all of your predictions. And it was like the ones, the conferences and the divisions that I got wrong, like pretty bad, you would end up getting like almost 100% right. So I was like,
and vice versa. Yeah.
Alex, move your head. What did you have for NFC West? I want to see.
I had
buddy, 9-8, 9-8. Get out of here! I'm putting a Post-it note over your face on my computer. 9-8, really?
This was back like end of July.
9-8. Like I saw 2 15-2s. Like all I could see was the win loss. I saw 2 15-2s. I'm like, okay, well, Rams Cardinals. I wonder which one you had at first. And I was like, motherfucker, what? Yeah.
Well, that was like we had Brad come at us a little bit there, be like, if you think my Seahawks are getting less than 9 wins, I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. So,
well, I mean, with Seattle not having Wilson for a good chunk of the season, that didn't help them.
Yeah.
I know it's funny. Oh, Brad. I love that man. I love that man so much. I do. He's one of my good homies. Like, I love Brad. Especially if he's watching Brad. I love you. Yeah. But that motherfucker, I sent him a snap last week. I set my living room up. So I got 2 scarves that say this is the Red Sea. I got that above my couch and above my TV. Yep. I got my jerseys hanging up. I changed my living room from like Oilers and hockey to like something that doesn't depress the shit out of me, which is the Cardinals. So I got like my Watt jerseys hanging in there, one of my Fitz jerseys. I set it up for the playoffs. I got my Cardinals helmet on the fridge, bunch of stuff like just out, like kind of just ready, getting the vibe, ready for the playoffs. And he's like, "Oh, to be good for 1 week." I'm like, "Man, shut up. The Seahawks didn't even make the playoffs. Oh, we can't make the playoffs every year." I'm like, "Motherfucker, this is the man. This is coming from the man who last year, I shit you not, we argued for 3 hours, tried to convince me Russell Wilson's better Patrick Mahomes. And I was like, you're wrong. I'm like, you are wrong. On so many levels, you're wrong. Like I have no disrespect to Russell Wilson, but you're fucking wrong.
I love
I was just
Brad
like,
too.
Man. Like I said, I love Brad. He's a diehard Seahawks
fan.
Brad. And that's exactly how he acts. He's a diehard Seahawks fan.
No, Brad is good shit.
He is good shit, but he also knows for me. He knows exactly I'm gonna push right here, and then I'm just.
Brad is also. I'm gonna state this right now. Brad is also like a big card collector and sports collector and stuff like
Brad's
that.
An awesome dude.
Yes, Brad's got some shit. He sent me some pictures of some shit that he's got, and I was like. You understand that there's real, and I'll say he's not a real Seahawks fan. That's not what I'm saying at all. But there's real Seahawks fans who have millions of dollars that would pay for his collection in a heartbeat. In a fucking heartbeat. I like this with Tom Brady. Hold up, pause. You damn right, dude. What's Warren Sapp's number? It's 99, dude. Okay. Don't start doing this.
They're
to me.
starting to question you. That's awesome. I would too. I would question it too.
I hate Winston Bet. See, now here's the thing. I've stated this, and I hold true to it. I don't hate him. I dislike him because he's in our division. If he was playing for the Steelers, like he had a chance to, or if he was playing for the Washington football team, or any of these locations where they need a actual quarterback to go in and start and do something good, I think he would actually have success. The best place for him to have success, I understand, is New Orleans, because we all can admit, as much as we hate the Saints, at least I do, and people on Bucks Report do, Sean Payton is probably top 3, top 2 head coach in the league every single year. The guy put out a fucking...
Sean Payton's an incredible coach.
Exactly.
And there's a reason they've had a couple of bad seasons and he still hasn't been fired, because he's not coaching. That's the issue. It's fucking players.
Yeah. But this guy has got this ensembled class every single year, this team. And I'm going to put a tight end in at quarterback.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
They're unpredictable. They're dangerous. And the thing is, too, Sean Payton's one of those coaches, not to say he's the only one, but he probably does it the best, where he's a player's coach, but he's also not. Like he's a coach. He's stern, but he's like he cares about his players, and he's like if something happens on the field, like a bad call or something, he'll be the first one out there screaming at the referee. Like
a Mike
he knows.
Tomlin.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Bill
There's
Belichick.
a reason those three guys have been coaches on their teams for as long as they have. Whether or not they've won rings, like, I mean, Bill Belichick has won rings, but Tomlin hasn't had the same success as Bill Belichick. Neither has Sean Payton. They both have a couple or one ring, but they don't have the same success. But they didn't get fired. They don't lose their jobs because those teams know what they have. It'd be the same as right now when Brian Flores got fired. One of those two gets to go. They got a new job in seconds. Yep. They can have any job they want. Like teams will fire coaches to hire those two.
Exactly. I was gonna say that.
Like I said, if Tomlin or Payton hit the market, if I'm the Cardinals, I love Cliff Kingsbury, but see you later. Like, buddy, like, see you later, pal. I probably would.
I get it. I like personally. I just from an outside perspective, I absolutely adore the fact that it was like Cliff Kingsbury coming in and being like, "You want to see air raid offense work in the NFL? Go get me Kyler fucking Murray." Like,
yeah, and then he calls 47 screen passes a game. That's the problem. Air raid offense with 47 screen passes. Like, buddy, throw it deep. That's your jam. Throw it deep or run the ball.
We got D-Hop for a premium, dude.
Yeah, go man, like deep. This year he's been better. I'll give him credit. This year, been better. But if you watch the Cardinals last year, I had joked with one of my buddies at work. I'd said, like, you know, I remember like the old Madden games, like 09, 010, where the screen pass was undefendable. Yeah. Like you threw that and it was easily 20 yards. No matter what you did, it was 20 yards. Like it was undefendable. Yeah. It was stupid. He's like, I'm like, I think Cliff Kingsbury played too much Madden 010. Because it's like every play, it's like 3rd and 12 screen pass. Bro, we just ran a screen pass on 2nd and 10 and lost 2 yards. Why are we doing that? Like, and how are we running screens and losing yardage? That's the other thing I don't understand. We're running screens and losing yards. It just doesn't get fucking, man, stop.
Tim Witherspoon says, I thought Jameis was balling. At least that's what he told everybody. I mean, he was doing good. The stats, like touchdown, interception. He was only throwing 100 yards per game. But
to be completely honest, I think he kind of got dealt a bad hand. The Bucs weren't great when he got there.
Nope.
I think he kind of got dealt a bad hand. I mean, I don't think he's a great quarterback by any means, but he definitely got, you know, a lot of hype around him being a top pick, and then got into a bad situation, got dealt a bad hand. He's not the quarterback that maybe they needed. Nope. But I don't think he's that bad of a quarterback either. You put him on
better than Tyrod Taylor. That means he is a better than the quarterback situation. Maybe not with Davis Mills now, but he's better than the quarterback situation was at the beginning of the season with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, he's better. Wow, and I'd say he's a starting quarterback on quite a few teams. I think he'd be a starter on the Jets. I mean, I could probably be a starter on the Jets, but
I still think
the Giants the Giants. I think are another one that he's probably better than Danny Dimes.
Depending on
him in Denver.
That was one that I said. Yep. Bridgewater.
I still like Teddy. I like Teddy. I've always liked Teddy.
I think he's better than Heineke. I do think Winston's better than Heineke.
Heineke is one of those players that I want to like him, you know?
I do too.
I don't know why. Like, I just want him to be good. I'm not saying he will be or he is or anything. I want him to be good. Like, I don't know why either. Yeah. I think it's maybe just because, like, last year they took KC to the brink, and I thought that was, you know, really cool. That was a good game. And I think ever since then, I was just like, man, I want this guy to be really good.
Yeah,
he's just not there. Not saying he can't get there, but he's just not there right now. But I want him to be good.
There's a few of those guys in the league too, where like I don't hate Danny Dimes. I just hate the situation that he's been put in with the New York Giants.
No, I don't hate him, but I don't think he's as good as the Giants think he is.
Nope.
Like the Giants seem to think he's their guy. I'm like,
that was a Manning pick. It was a Manning pick the guy. All the way. And
he's not the guy. Nope. He's like the year he got drafted, I saw somebody say, and it's still true to me to this day, Daniel Jones looks like the guy you hired to play Eli Manning in a movie about Eli Manning's life. Yeah. He doesn't play like Eli Manning, but he just looks the part.
Go ahead.
The Bears are interviewing Jim Caldwell as well.
That would be an interesting one. It would take maybe a couple of years.
I don't want it as a Lions fan.
Well, I guess, he was a Lions fan.
Jim Caldwell's a very underrated coach.
Yes, he is. Same with who was the Bengals coach for a while there?
Marvin
Lewis. Marvin Lewis is
very underrated coach. Very underrated coach. I actually think very highly of Marvin Lewis.
We almost hired him last year too.
If the Buccaneers had to clean house, like say not this year, okay, Frodo, fine, come here. Sorry, my dog wanted it on my lap here. If the Buccaneers had to clean house after next year, like Bruce Arians is gone, Brian and Todd get jobs somewhere else. If we had to go to the open market of coaches to grab a head coach, I would have not any issues with Jim Caldwell or Marvin Lewis. Like literally none whatsoever. Just that you get Kyle Trask for 4 years, see what you can do, keep the culture alive in Tampa if you can. If not, we're going to go and do something else. But I think those guys could do it. So, and he says he's been recuperating all week. That's why you haven't seen me.
Yeah, I saw that.
Glad you're feeling better, brother. That's good.
Can we circle back to the playoffs here and talk about the Niners-Cowboys game?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's, I think we got that one and one more that we haven't talked about yet.
Well, we didn't really talk much about the Eagles-Bucks. We all just kind of agreed that the Bucks should win that game. Yeah, we didn't really talk about it, but
I don't want to talk about it either.
Yeah.
I figured that's why he said we only had like one or two left.
We started talking about the Patriots and Bills, but didn't really go very far. And then we haven't talked about the Niners, Cowboys, or the Cardinals, Rams.
So the Niners and the Cowboys, that game, a lot of people are hopping on the 49ers, and there's good reasoning for it. The 49ers are 2 years removed from that basic exact roster being in the Super Bowl and being one deep pass away from possibly winning it over the Kansas City Chiefs. So why else would the Dallas Cowboys even have a chance? Here's my thing. Dallas, if you had Michael Gallup and the whole entire team was completely 100% healthy, I don't want no fucking part of that team. I don't want to play Dallas again. The only reason we beat them week 1 is because we were the Super Bowl winning champions. We have a recipe of winning, and Dallas did not have a recipe for winning, and they still kept it very close. That's the reason why Dallas is a very scary team this year. And they got 2 running backs that I would literally give anything to have on the Buccaneers. Just maybe not Zeke. I don't like Zeke. But if you told me I had Zeke, I'm not mad. So
I'd take Tony Pollard. I don't know that I'd take Zeke at this point.
I like Tony Pollard. And I'm trying to get him in fantasy too. And everyone who owns him right now is like, no, I want CMC for him. And I'm like, no.
I think everyone is kind of on the same boat where they think Zeke might be out the door this year.
I think so too. I do too.
I'm in a pool with some guys. We do a pool every year. I picked the Cowboys to win solely because the 49ers had a good season, and I do think the 49ers could still win. I think it'll be close as hell. I just don't believe in Jimmy G. I really don't. I never have, and I never will.
Jimmy is playing for a contract with a team.
I know he is.
He's
but
doing
but he's also got that hand issue.
I know.
I don't believe in Jimmy G. Right? Like I don't know. I would almost think that they have a better chance if Trey Lance is playing, but that's just
I do too.
Right? Like if Trey Lance is playing, I'm almost definitely taking the 49ers.
Yep.
Jimmy G in the offseason should go to like the New Orleans Saints or the Washington football team, because I think that's where he would probably get the best success out of
Indianapolis is one that I had.
Indy would be a good one too.
Indy's going to look for a quarterback. They got to look at a team that has 2 quarterbacks, right? They're going to have to find somewhere that has 2. They need to get rid of one to offload a contract or whatever.
And no offense, you're like, I love you Colts, and I understand that there's Colt fans out there that are like, but we could be in the running for like Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson.
You're not.
You're not. I'm sorry.
That's like one of my buddies, one of my really good buddies. He's pushing for Russell Wilson. I'm like, buddy, as much as I'd love to see Russell Wilson leave my division, Seattle's not trading him. I don't give a fuck. They're not trading him.
Not unless you're the Giants. Like, not unless you're offering 5 and 7 and another pick.
And the 3 teams that Wilson said he would go to does not include Indianapolis.
Nope. It's the
Giants, Saints, Broncos.
Giants, Saints, Broncos. Yeah, exactly. So
and Broncos.
That's why I say Jimmy G for Indianapolis. Like I said, I'm not a big Jimmy G fan, but that's a quarterback that you could with Jonathan Taylor, he could be successful because that year they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah. He didn't pass the ball that much.
No, he just had a nice onslaught of
10 yards at most. Like nothing real, no real big chunks. He wasn't, this gunslinger quarterback. It was a lot of like, here you go, dude. Here you go. Run that fucker. So you put him in that offense with that same protection that they do have in Indianapolis with a good running back. He could be very successful because a good offensive line can turn an average quarterback into a great quarterback, right?
Yep. So or take the GOAT and keep him at his status.
Yeah. So I really think that Indianapolis is a good spot for Jimmy G, and I think it's a good fit. That being said, like I said, I still don't like Jimmy G this week against Dallas.
Fair. Oh, so you got Dallas -3?
I got Dallas. Okay. Yeah, I got Dallas to win. Okay. Like I said, I don't like him against the Dallas. Dallas is a good defense.
Yep.
I don't like him against that defense.
That's a good take. It's a good take. Right? I think the 49ers keep it close.
They do. Like it's not gonna be a blowout. I just don't like them winning on that defense. And the other thing too is like the Cowboys have to get their ground game going. I don't care if it's Tony Pollard or if it's Zeke or if Mike McCarthy goes out there and runs the ball. They have to run the fucking ball. Like they have to run the ball, right? That's where the reason I said to one of my buddies, a Cowboys fan, the reason that they lost the Cardinals, they gave up on the run game really fast.
Yep.
They tried to throw the ball too much, and as much as we have a bad run defense. We do. We have a terrible run defense. Our pass defense bails us out. Like Buda Baker's back there, like, don't worry, guys. Like, I got this.
And we're the opposite on the Buccaneers.
If they would have run that ball a little bit more against Cardinals, like, very good chance they would have beat us because we weren't playing our best either.
So who do you got in this, Alex? You got 49ers or you got Dallas?
I got the 49ers in a very close one.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. Even if
this
they don't
one,
win.
For me, straight, and I said to my buddy when I was making my picks for our pool, because we all sent him to the commissioner or whatever. And I said to him, I got the Cowboys, and I'm like, and quite honestly, it's a fucking coin flip. Like,
Like, honestly,
I said, for me, it's literally just Jimmy G versus that defense. I don't like it. So I'm going Dallas. Like you said, if it came out today that Trey Lance was starting, I would be trying to get a hold of the guy and I need to change my pick.
I need to switch this, please.
Because that changes everything for me. It really does.
These first round matchups here too, 3, maybe even 4. No, I would say 3. Okay. Let me say it this way: 2 of the games are division rivals, big time division rivals, in the Patriots and Bills and the Cardinals and the Rams. But then you look at the other 2 big, say, rival games. It's the Bucs and the Eagles, because that rivalry has existed for a long time. The other one, of course, is the 49ers and the Cowboys. That is a rivalry game. That is a lot of 60-year-old plus gentlemen and ladies watching that game. A lot of guys who
stopped watching football because Colin Kaepernick was kneeling are watching football tomorrow because they're like, oh shit, the 49ers and the Cowboys are playing each other.
Exactly. That game right now, just looking at it, has not changed. It's still +3 for the 49ers. They got the 49ers at +135 to win. They got the Cowboys at -160. Again, it's a coin flip. I think it could also, both teams could score 27 points or more. So the over is sitting at 51 right now at -105. I wouldn't mind taking that, but
I'm trying to remember what I took here. Let me just go back. I don't remember all of my over-unders. I hate doing over-unders, man. It's the worst.
No, there's only a few times that I like doing the over-unders. I'm more of the spread guy myself.
This is what I got for my pool. I got Bengals over. I got Pats over. And then, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I know. As soon as I said that out loud, I was like, I shouldn't have done that. But whatever. I'm going with it. I got Bucks under. Pats over, Bucks under, Cowboys under, Chiefs over, and Cards over.
Cowboys under just because it's at 51, I could see. And then you said the Chiefs
that's
over.
51. That's a lot of fucking points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see them both scoring 27 or 28, but also at the same time, too. One can score 28 and the other one will score 20, and then all of a sudden it's fucked. So,
yeah, that's what I think. I think it's going to be a 28, 20, 25, 22 kind of game.
They got the
somewhere
Cards,
in there.
They got the Cards and the Rams sitting at over under at 50. And the Cards line is actually moved.
So I have that as over because I think those 2 offenses are. I have that as over. Because I think whoever wins that game has to score 30 points.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why I say it's over because whoever wins that game tomorrow or on Monday night, has to score 30 points. Because both teams, like, I mean, I think Matt Stafford to a point has been a little bit, I guess for lack of a better word, like exposed as opposed to like the first 5 weeks where he was like dominating, like, because the first 5 weeks of the season, like it was just like, Jesus Christ, this is the guy that couldn't win a game in Detroit for the last fucking how many years, but he's just like lighting it up, right? Yeah. And I think like ever since they actually lost to the Cardinals, it's kind of been like, okay, like league starts to figure him out. Not saying he's bad or anything like that, but it's just not the same level of dominance that he had at the start of the season.
Oh yeah.
So you have, but that offense is still good. You got OBJ, you got Robert Woods, you got all these guys, right?
Well, Robert Woods isn't playing, but yeah.
I know. I just started listing Rams players. But,
no, I know.
Yeah, you got like a lot of really good players on that offense, and then same thing with the Cardinals. Like I know D-Hop's not playing, but you still got like Christian Kirk, Kyler Murray, James Conner. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he's playing. Chase Edmonds. It's still they're two good offenses. I think both teams are going to have to just fucking fly tomorrow.
So staying on that game, because that's one of the other games that we have to talk about. They just released those odds, I think today or late last night. They have the Rams as the favorite at -4. So give me the Cardinals right now. $5 for sure on the Cardinals at +4, which is at -15. I will take that all day, every day to the bank. Thank you very much. Same with, if it'll load for me, I just took Derek Carr. This is just a hypothetical here because I think the Raiders might be able to do something a little bit different here. If I can go back to it. Derek Carr, 26 pass completions, 265 passing yards at least, and 2 passing touchdowns in Las Vegas to win. Plus 1,100. I will take that to the bank all day, every day. Thank you very much. That's an easy one. I think the Raiders have a chance to actually win it. And if they're going to win it, Derek Carr is going to be the one that has to actually win the game. There's nobody really else on that team that's going to win them that game. So, going back to the Cardinals though here, what do you think? Because they traded for Matt Stafford in order to play certain games like this. Like they know what type of team they have. They have holes in that.
But they gave up the future to win today.
Yeah. And the Cardinals,
like they traded everything.
The Cardinals at least had the number 1 pick, and they chose to get their quarterback.
Yeah.
Whether he was like, this kid came from Texas. This kid was going to be an 8th overall draft pick in fucking baseball. That's the type of talent that you just literally do not pass up.
Yeah.
And now they're meeting in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I like the Cardinals +4. What do you got, Alex?
I'll take the Cardinals +4, but I do have the Rams by a field goal.
Ooh, okay. I think it's a close one too, but
this is the same guy who had the Cardinals 9-8 this season. So let's take all that with a grain of salt. Jeez. Just saying, you've been doubting the Cardinals since the season fucking started.
No. Once I saw during the season how good the Cardinals have been, there was a few times this season that I said the Cardinals.
Walk by that whiteboard, you're like, shit.
So. Yeah, honestly, I left this up there for.
They're 7-0, and you're like, well, there's no way they're going 2-8. So.
What did they end up finishing at? 12 wins, right?
12
11, right?
Or no, yes, maybe. 11-6. That extra game like screwed me up so bad on records this year. Just like trying to remember records now because I'm like, hold on, they weren't 8-8. Were they 8-9 or 9-8? Like certain teams, right? I'm like, now I'm like when I think of 11 wins, I'm like 11-5. I'm like, no, that's not right.
You know what? To be honest, too, can we just get an extra game in? Can we not do this like 9-8 bullshit? Like, just make it fucking 18 games. Make it a 19-week season. I don't care. Put in a second bye. I care a little bit more about that.
Does, right? The CFL has 20 weeks and 2 buys.
Yeah. And I get like where the NFL is kind of coming, and people in fantasy football would be like, fuck no. Dealing with 1 bye week is bad enough. Dealing with 2 bye weeks.
This year.
Yeah, this year. Though I did switch it in NSD The only reason we did the bye week this year is because we didn't know what the players were going to do. And everybody kind of assumed that too. They're like, there might be some teams that do the 2-week thing. We don't know if they're just going to do the 1-week thing. Yeah. I said, fuck that. And when all the buys are done next year, that's when we're doing playoffs. So
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Was this after the Bounty Gate bullshit? Sean Payton should have been barred from the league.
He served his suspension. It is what it is.
I know. Tom Brady better than Belichick, I think. I kind of agree with that. But Belichick is still one hell of a good coach.
Well, I mean, how do you compare a Hail Murray, my man? Attaboy.
Dude,
how do you compare a quarterback to a coach?
It's hard, man.
Like, how do you really make that comparison?
A lot of people would just say Tom Brady won in his first year.
Because Brady's moved on and had success. He also had a team that literally followed him to Tampa Bay, and he brought a coach that was a damn good coach out of fucking retirement to come and coach the team. And then not only that, Belichick has bounced back faster than I think most of us thought that the Patriots would. Like, they're back in the playoffs 2 years removed from last year where they were terrible.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's got a rookie quarterback that and even then, like, Mac Jones was one of those quarterbacks last year. Everybody was kind of like, this guy ain't gonna do shit in the NFL. And there's a lot of people.
I said
a lot of people thought that.
New England, he'll be fine.
But no, for sure. But a lot of people didn't like Mac Jones last year, right? So Belichick has now taken a quarterback that nobody really thought was going to do a whole hell of a lot, turned this team around, got him back in the playoffs in a season. Like, that's
and that's why I think some of these quarterbacks in this draft are like, it's like the Carson Wentz and Jared Goff draft, where those quarterbacks weren't necessarily good enough to go 1 and 2. They should have fallen back a little bit.
Yeah, that's all that was there, though.
Right? I think in this draft, some of those quarterbacks look like Jared Goff and Carson Wentz, respectively. But I think some teams
or Josh Rosen
fall, or Josh Rosen. I still hold to it, because I still said that rich little shit should not get drafted to any team, because that's all he's going to be a fucking problem with. And what happened? He wasn't that for the Cardinals, but then it started coming out later on where it's just like, he doesn't give a shit because he's got money. Some of these guys are playing for their contracts, right? So that's just that's kind of what I like. But also at the same time too, you don't make a player like, oh, you get $1,000 incentives for 5 years and then we'll give you millions of dollars. No. If he plays pretty good, hand him $1 million, make sure he's still on his contract, but give him the incentives he deserves. That's the way it should be. Fuck Josh Rosen. Some of these quarterbacks though in this draft, like your Sam Howell, Malik Willis is I think the problem with Malik Willis is going to be this. I literally think this is going to be a problem. Is people are going to be like, you're going to put your religion and your faith ahead of your career. And he'll be like, yeah, because after my career is the one thing that I'll have. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But I think that's going to be the problem with him becoming a first-round draft choice. This is why I also think Sam Howell, Kenny Pickett, and those guys would work in teams like Denver, but more than likely the teams that have the best coaches, like your Sean Payton in New Orleans. He would work very, very well in Seattle if they were to trade off and do that. Mike Tomlin is probably going to go grab one of these quarterbacks in the first round. That would be a good place to go start.
Unless he can get an Aaron Rodgers or a Matt Ryan.
And I think Matt Ryan would probably be better off in Denver, personally. That's just me.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But if he went to Pittsburgh, it'd be like, you got all the tools, man. It's like Atlanta back in the day. Go do something with it. So
yeah.
Robert's got Packers winning it all.
Just to quickly circle back, we talked about the offenses of the Rams and the Cardinals. I just want to touch on the defenses real quick. Yep. Something I learned today that actually surprised me that I didn't even realize. Because I think of the Rams, and the first thing I'm worried about, not Matt Stafford, not OBJ, Aaron Donald. I don't want to fuck with them. Yeah, don't want to fuck with them. I didn't realize the Cardinals actually have more sacks than the Rams do on the season.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I didn't realize that, especially with JJ out for half of the season. I didn't expect to see that at all. So that kind of surprises me, because I'm like, well, we're sitting here game planning for Aaron Donald, who's a fucking tank, man. Like, the guy's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Year in and year out.
It's stupid, man, how strong that man is. You could put 5 guys on him, and he's like, I'm coming anyway.
What draft pick was he again?
He was like,
Aaron Donald, he was like 14th in 2014.
Was he? Okay. Was he that low? Ooh.
Yeah. Because I wanted my Lions to get him at like 8 or 9 or whatever. When fucking Eric Ebron instead.
But yeah, so everybody talks the Aaron Donald, even myself, and I kind of underrated the Cardinals defense a little bit just because of they're not having Aaron Donald. But the Cardinals do have like 5 players in the box that can get at the quarterback at any time. And that's, Chandler Jones, JJ, if he plays. Like, they haven't said that he's playing, but he did practice this week, and Arizona exploded. So if they're both of them play, then you got, Marcus Golden's out there. I mean, Isaiah Simmons, and you bring him on the rush. Like, we have the weapons too. Oh, Isaiah Simmons. I can sit and talk for hours about Isaiah Simmons, but these are 2 like very evenly matched teams, and Monday Night Football divisional matchup. It's gonna be a damn good football game. I'm very stressed out because I fucking hate primetime games. I do. I hate it. I hate it because everybody's watching. Like, nobody. So if something happens, the Cardinals do something dumb, I'm gonna get about 15 text messages from my buddies. The Cards suck. I'm like, you're a loser, man. Like, go home, sober up.
It's what I said at work. I told all my coworkers at work too. I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet now. Like, I'm going, and they're like, oh, but we're all gonna send you messages. You know that if the Bucks lose, and I'm like, and I'm like, you don't think people from last year still have like messages written out to me, ready to just send it to me the second we lose in the playoffs? Yeah. Like, don't worry.
I used to just bug you in the middle of games.
Yep.
Like, they'd be up like, man, it's over.
Like, my best friend will text me like in the middle of the game and be like, Cards suck, they're garbage, they're trash, bunch of bums. And I'm like, buddy, you're a Bills fan. You guys lost to Mac Jones. He threw 3 fucking passes. Like, sober up, bro.
2 Bills in a row, couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I go to the Super Bowl, I win.
Yeah, he also wouldn't know that because he's been a Bills fan for 5 minutes, but it's fine. One of those, right? One of those jumped on the Bills bandwagon, and then he's like, "Your team sucks." I'm like, "You're a loser, dude. Like, shut up. The circus is over. Go home, man."
And I've even said this. I've said this to Alex. I've said this to a bunch of people. Like, it's not that like the Buccaneers have won a championship or anything like that, and that I'm just done with the Buccaneers. No, I still every single year it's fuck you all. I want my Buccaneers to win. It just so happens if we lose, you still have these other teams that you cheer for. Right now, I'm in the mindset that all the Canadian football teams that have not won their championships, those are the guys I want to start seeing win next. The Vikings, the Lions, and the Bills. Those are the teams that I would like to see like win these championships next, if it cannot be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Starting with the Detroit Lions, though the Bills will probably go first, and then the Vikings, and then the Lions, but who knows?
Well, we'll see what happens with the Vikings here, too.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the Vikings. I do think they get rid of Kirk Cousins, but I don't necessarily think they go with Kellen Mond.
He's done.
You think so?
Who? Kirk Cousins? Yeah.
Both of you think he's completely gone?
Oh, gone. You can't pay him that much money to lose every season.
He doesn't do that bad, though.
Look for Matt Ryan potentially there, too, because it is the Dome.
I just don't like. I said the amount that you're paying Kirk Cousins to have losing seasons is unacceptable.
Well, I do agree with that because the head coach there that got fired, Zimmer, I don't necessarily think he's a bad head coach. He's one of those good coaches that if you leave in the system for like 10 years, you're going to get some playoffs. You're going to have chances at championships. You just have to deal with some of these up and down seasons.
Yeah.
Now, they should have put Kellen Mond in. They should have given him a chance. They should have tried him out. But for some odd reason, Zimmer was like, no.
He only got one drive in that Packers game. That was it this year.
Yeah, and Jordan Love got like a whole half here. It's like, come on. You drafted this guy to be your starter.
We know now that Jordan Love isn't the guy.
Do we?
He was pretty bad in the Chiefs game.
Did you guys hear this?
The Packers that win last week.
Did you guys hear this thing this week that Colin Cowherd said about Aaron Rodgers?
I did.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I did. And you know what? I don't necessarily think he's wrong to say it because I do think that Rodgers could If anyone,
no, because Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show.
Yep.
And he said and he was like, no, bro. He's like, I never said that. He's like, and I tell you right now, because they said it came from a trusted source close to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers said straight up on Pat's show, he's like, the people that I trust and tell shit to aren't talking to guys like the guys like this. They're not talking to the media, man. So whoever made this story up is just looking for something to talk about because they want to talk about me. I love watching Aaron Rodgers talk on Pat McAfee's show, by the way, though.
So do I.
As much as like he's an
Pat
arrogant prick, but it's fun to watch, man. Like I love it. He's like, they want to talk about me, so I'm like, I don't fucking know.
And the best thing is, and I know I might get like a little bit of flack. Everyone knows that in any aspect of most things, I try to be in the middle, especially when there's no like legitimate right answer, say yet, or until some other things come out, or just, in general, like religion and politics and all that kind of stuff. When it came to like, say, the vaccine status, it was always the same thing, just being like right in the middle of it, right? Because when you listen to Aaron Rodgers talk, I like listening to him talk a little bit more about it, say, than like the Joe Rogans and some of those other crazy guys out there. Because Aaron Rodgers is basically right in the middle, but leans with his beliefs. He doesn't, go at the people, fuck you because you are vaccinated and this, that, and everything else. He's like, no, appreciate that you're vaccinated. Appreciate the people that, are around me when they tell me and stuff like that. He's right in the middle.
Well, and he's not an anti-vaxxer. He just doesn't want to get the COVID shot. Like that's why he said, he's like, I'm vaccinated. He's like, not with, like, he said that, not with this one, but he's like, I have my other shots. Like,
and
some people have that standpoint, and there's nothing wrong with having that standpoint.
And he's allergic to one of the things that is in some of these like actual shots. I wouldn't want anyone in the world to take anything that they're allergic to. So
no, exactly. Like you're allowed to have an opinion on something. Just because you're an NFL athlete doesn't mean you're not allowed to have an opinion on something.
Exactly. And that's why with Pat McAfee, at least Pat McAfee now, because he's done something that a lot of people have wanted to do. Barstool's wanted to do this. I dreamed about creating something like this where you can go on a show, bullshit about literally whatever the fuck you want, make some of the most funniest jokes that I've ever seen. Like when they're all leaning in their chair talking about Siciliano and the fucking disrespect that ESPN and the NFL Network throw at that man. You know what I mean? Just the absolute disrespect. And they do that all the time. And yet they still have some of the greatest people on their show.
I've been looking for that for a minute, just to talk about, because we're talking about Kirk Cousins. I remember that I said that to my buddy. The guy's just not good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Lined up on the guard, like, hold on.
Yeah, wait, I gotta move over.
Imagine
like me loading up the stream like this. Like, what happened? Oh, camera's over here.
A couple more comments here. Jameis' season can be over with the Saints. Taysom Hill got paid. I mean, it's not all guaranteed, but yes. I also think, or he thinks Wentz is gone. I think we all can agree with that. I still hold to maybe give him another shot if you can't go get one of those top tier quarterbacks, but that's just me.
McCarthy, you don't just cut him, you get somebody else and then he's gone.
Yeah. McCarthy in the jumbo package to block for Zeke.
Jesus Christ.
Right? That's an NFC championship throwback, with the Cowboys and the 49ers. Way the Cowboys wins is if Greg Zuerlein can make kicks. I mean, quite possibly, yeah. Dallas, there's a winning formula there. They're just trying to figure it out literally every day before the game. So
what happened to GZ, man?
Who?
I don't know.
Like GZ, Greg Zuerlein. Like he used to be like money from fucking anywhere. Yeah, like it didn't matter. He was, and now he's missing like every week, like 2-3 kicks a game. That's an extra point, or like just barely not missing an extra point. Like, bro, what happened to you?
What Mason Crosby had a bad season.
Really bad season.
Yeah. The Nick Folk had a really bad a season and a half, maybe 2, because he was on the Bucs for a bit and just couldn't get it together.
Yeah,
right?
That was bad.
I think.
By the way, Alex, thanks for Matt Prater.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. We needed a kicker more than anything in the world. I was ready to fly down to Arizona and kill Zane Gonzalez myself.
Yeah, dude.
Last year, I was mad last year at kickers.
I mean, hey, we took a kicker in the second round, remember? And then we had to deal with the curse of not having good, consistent kickers since we decided to let Connor Barth go back in the day, who ended up being the 2nd overall kicker that year. But no, fuck off. We don't need you to kick field goals in Tampa Bay. That curse lasted for a while. Johnny Dean says, hey, what's up? This show needs some toques. Somebody spelled toques right. I'm so happy. I couldn't spell toques last night.
I can go. I got a toque over here.
I got a buck toque. Yeah, right up there too. I don't wear like most of the toques that I have. I usually just keep them on the walls. So Rob Ewing says that's why McAfee is killing it on the WWE commentary.
I love the Pat McAfee show, man. I fucking love it. Oh god, he kills me. Like I love listening to his shit. Yep. Did you guys? Did you watch the one this week? He was talking about the loss to the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even know. He didn't even know that if they lost that game, they might not make the playoffs. Yeah. He's like, I didn't think that was even a thing. He's like, I thought we just beat the Jags and make the playoffs. Like it was all good. I didn't realize if we didn't beat the Jags, we might not make the playoffs. Yeah, he's like, I talk about the Colts every day. He's like, you think I should know that? Oh, I laughed so hard. And then the guys tweeting him clown stuff. Oh man, that was absolute gold.
I went on there yesterday and started it was popping in the comment section and going at Steve Smith. So I was like, yeah, my Bucks are gonna get ran, eh, Steve Smith? You fucking Hall of Fame wide receiver, get the fuck off my screen, you fucking Carolina Panther wannabe. But no, I agree. The Pat McAfee show has shown that if you work at it, it'll finally become something really fucking good, which I think is absolutely incredible for independent guys too. But that also being said, my fiance doesn't watch it, but she knows that what? What? I do that all the time now, and I'm trying to find a perfect clip from the show to show her, because every time I try to search for it, there's no it doesn't come up. So if you guys find a good clip of them just doing what? Something, what? Send it to me. I need that.
I'll try and find one for you.
Yeah. Because she needs to hear. She's heard it once or twice when I'm listening to the show, and she just dies. So, Johnny Dean says, "Okay, now I can talk." By the way, fuck Facebook. That's hilarious.
When he put the Vikings and Bills, it got him blocked on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess. Fuck. I now know Prater can kick. No worries.
Oh yes.
Prater can kick. He bailed Tebow out many times. That's true.
Oh, Prater can kick. He's bailed the Cardinals out by kicking 60-yarders a couple times this season.
Well, see, here's the thing now. So, with NFC, we've got, obviously, Lions, Broncos, Cardinals. He's just got to go kick for the Falcons and the Bucks.
No, he's going to stay in Arizona until he decides he's done kicking shit.
Now that he left Detroit, he can go wherever.
We've had kicker issues for so long. Man,
I don't want to kicking outdoors.
I don't like to ever blame
Denver.
I don't like to ever blame one player for a team's loss ever.
Well,
but I'm telling you right now, Cardinals make the playoffs last year if Zane Gonzalez makes 5 more field goals, because he missed 3 game-winning field goals. 3. Right? Like I said, that's not the reason we didn't make playoffs. Obviously you don't want to be in a position where your kicker has to win the game for you. But if he makes those 3 field goals, we make the playoffs, because of 3 more wins we would have had. We would have beat the Dolphins. We would have beat, I think, the Lions, and there was somebody else that he just fucking missed field goals.
Fucking tied last year.
Yeah, we would. I was just man, make a fucking field goal, please.
Yeah.
From 30 yards out, you should make it. That's your fucking job. I understand if you're not Justin Tucker and you can't bang an 80-yarder in, but you should be able to bang 30s all game.
Oh yeah. Johnny Dean says Pat should go back to comedy. He also says, damn, bro, that was a hell of a line. True. Rob Ewing said he kicked 64 in Denver. LOL.
But Prater can kick. Prater can kick. I love Prater. Prater kicked 62. I think this season is a high.
I don't want Prater on the Bucks if we don't have our fucking stadium built. I want our new.
I don't want Prater on the Bucks. I don't want Prater on the Bucks. Period. I want him on the Cardinals.
I don't want.
He's staying here.
To go anywhere.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, he's staying right here. We've had kicker issues for a long time.
Detroit, I don't give a shit. He can go wherever he wants.
Man,
no, we've had kicker issues for years. We got a good kicker. Stay. Keep doing what you do. You miss one here or there, we won't be mad because you make more than you miss, which is what we had the opposite problem with Zane Gonzalez. He missed more than he made.
I got no problem like with Ryan Suckup on the Bucks. I just like you start missing way too many again at $4.5 million. I want him gone. So it's like my punter this year. Pinion, like, listen, you've done really good over the years, but you're still like $1.5 million or $2.5 million for a punter. And if you don't start doing good, man, well, I want you off this team. Or no, he's $4 million. Sorry, to be the punter. That's why I'm like,
I mean, good for him, but
yeah, but still. Like, I get it. Like, that's what I want my son to achieve to do. Like, I'm literally teaching my son how to kick a field goal at, like, the youngest age I possibly can. Because if he just goes and he does that in high school.
As much as I love football, I'm teaching my kid how to fucking hit a ball hard. You can go be a DH in the MLB and make a shit ton of money. You don't have to be athletic.
No.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even got to be in shape. You can, Vlad Guerrero, you can just hit balls. You can be fat and just launch them and be like, it's okay. We'll pay you $40 million to just keep doing that. That's what my kid's going to do.
Please stop and do that.
Just hit ball hard.
I said with my fiance here, Kim, when it's regards to the son and daughter, like whatever sport they choose, I will put them in and they will be able to do that sport. Like if Maverick turns around and is like, I want to do baseball, he'd be like, well, guess what? I never did baseball that much, but I have friends like Chris and a couple other guys.
I got you.
Exactly.
I got you. I'll get the kid in the ball.
Yeah, like if he turned around and said, I want to do soccer, I don't have that much, but I know a couple of my friends out down here as well that would be like,
every kid plays soccer and then realizes they hate it.
True. Or they use that.
Tell me I'm wrong. I played soccer as a kid, realized I hated it, started playing hockey. Every kid plays soccer until they realize they fucking hate it. It's a lot of running.
Yeah.
Unless you're like really good at it and then you keep playing. But unless you're like incredible at fucking soccer, you play soccer, you're like, yeah, this game sucks.
Which, to be fair, if my son has like even a smidgen of the energy that I had when I was younger, that's the reason I excelled at soccer. Like I was just like, give me the ball and I will run it down the field, shoot it. If I miss, I will get the ball back and do it again. And I will continue to do that all game.
If he wants to play baseball, we'll turn him into a good little center fielder. He can just run around and rob guys. Like the ball will be right to the left field. He'd be like, mine.
Fucking the good old Kevin Pillar days with the Blue Jays. Just that fucking one season of him and what's the other guy on third there? That was Donaldson. Just that whole year of highlights from the Blue Jays. Not even my team, but shout out to the Blue Jays. Where were we here? Oh, sorry. If Harbaugh continues to go for 2, Justin Tucker may be available soon.
He's going to be like that high school coach we talked about earlier. No kicks whatsoever.
Here's a question. Here's an honest question. This might sound dumb, but is Justin Tucker worth a first-round pick?
No.
No.
No, never. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if he can kick a field goal from your own goal line. No.
You don't think that if one, say, team, like, let's just even say, like, the Buffalo Bills, right, completely dominant and they lose all the important games by, say, the kicking or whatever. If they were to go throw a first rounder at Justin Tucker just to make sure that was their problem, that they won Super Bowls, would they all of a sudden, would that be laughed at? You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I want my first round pick to go to somebody that can be involved in a 6-point play.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not 6 points.
You can always you can always improve. Like even if you're a dominant team, you can always improve your team in the first round, right? Even if it is a late first rounder, you can always improve your team in the first round. So I don't know. Like I would, if that's like, let's go with that exact situation. Like, so the Bills, they're losing every game, all the important games by 3 points, and their kicker's missing field goals. I'm looking at my offense and thinking, where can I get myself into a position where I'm not looking at my kicker to win the game?
That's fair.
Right?
No, that's fair. Completely.
As opposed to looking at, like, I mean, I'm still looking at a new kicker, but I'm not looking at trading a first round pick for a kicker. I'm looking at signing a better kicker or drafting one late in the draft who might help me out. And then I'm using my first round pick to better my offense to a point where we're winning those games because we got another touchdown. We didn't need to make that extra field goal. Right.
Yeah. I know Johnny doesn't like his baseball. He's like, why would you put that stress on your kid?
No, I think he meant when you said for him to be a kicker.
I was a kicker. I kicked.
And look where you are now.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey,
Oh.
I had a chance. I just didn't put enough dedication into it. So that's literally on me. But I'm not gonna let Maverick deal with that.
Like I think all of us. I had a chance to make CFL.
I played. I was at UMD for a training camp, and then I had a scholarship thrown at me. Basically, there were 7 of us at the St. Patrick High School who had scholarship opportunities, but because I have no money and I had a shitty education, and because I decided to snort everything away in my youth, I said, "Fuck that." So that's it.
That's fair. That happens.
Right? It happens a lot in Texas. I know.
It happens a lot in Alberta, bro.
You and Robert, my friend, by the way, would talk baseball if you're one of those huge baseball guys too. Big baseball guy. A lot of my old friends back home are huge baseball guys too, and they're all, I'm pretty sure, diehard Blue Jay fans, except for Robert is a Rockies fan, if I am not mistaken.
Interesting.
I believe you gotta let me know what you are there, Robert. I believe he's Rockies. 1 more games than Flacco or Jackson.
Oh, I'm not denying having a good kicker is a great advantage. I'm just saying I'm
not
not
a
giving a first rounder up. That's all I'm saying. Having Justin Tucker's a great asset. If you can get him, then get him on your team.
Round? Do you pull the Buccaneers and give a second rounder?
Maybe.
Actually,
how old is Justin Tucker? Hold on. How old is Justin Tucker?
42.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not that old.
You sure?
But he's getting there,
he's
though.
Gotta be early 30s.
I'm googling. Justin Tucker is 32 years of age.
Yeah. I was like, he's early 30s.
So I'm still not going a second. I would do a third, and that's about as much as far as.
And you know what?
I'm
not trading draft pick. Justin Tucker was an undrafted free agent.
There's a good point.
I'm not trading a draft pick.
That's a good point.
Fair enough. Very fair as well.
The Lions had Tucker on their team. Think about how many games they would have won.
This amount they already won. Ravens. Yeah.
2 more.
Yeah, it was like we lost.
Do you think 2 more wins?
They kicked last second field goals.
Oh, he's Mariners.
Not because we kicked last second field goals.
So
if Justin Tucker wasn't a Raven, we win that game.
Yeah, I guess, eh? And sorry about that, Robert. I should have known that too. For some odd reason, I thought Rockies, but no, I knew you're definitely.
Well, I mean, that would have made sense with the Broncos, and it would have added up.
Johnny's like, baseball talk. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Not even close, Johnny says, too. We're talking Tucker right now. I would never draft a kicker.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I said, if that's a big hole in my team, then yeah, 3rd, 4th round, maybe.
Like if I knew,
if you got a kicker that you know has got some serious leg on him, yeah.
And I know that
for sure.
But
I'm not going out of my way to draft a kicker. Right? I would, like I said, that's more of let's say it's the Bucs, for example, coming off of winning the Super Bowl, kept most of the team together, don't really need to do much, could use a new kicker. Oh, okay.
4th or 5th round for me.
Yeah, we took an undrafted
4th or 5th round. Yeah,
we took an undrafted guy, and I believe his name was Borgalis, and he ended up pushing Ryan Suck up a little bit more because for a little bit there we were like, we might actually not say cut Ryan Suck up, but we might actually take this other guy instead. And but my point was, and I actually just saw the nickname for the guy there. If you knew how good the kicker was, that's when I would say trade for him at that point. I don't want to draft them. I'll take them at undrafted or even in the 7th round if I know that they're still there and available and they were really that good. I'll use a 7th rounder. But I like this comment. Can be like the Raiders taking a kicker in round 1 with Janikowski, because Janikowski was insane for
and look at where the Raiders were with him. That's my response.
No, and that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not using a top. I would argue for a kicker like Janikowski. I would argue a 3rd round pick, like the mid to high 3rd rounder, maybe.
If you didn't,
depending on the situation my team is in, but I'm still never using a 1st or a 2nd round pick on a kicker because for example, like let's say last year, like for me, with the Cardinals, like we got Rondale Moore in the 2nd round. Mm-hmm. I'm not taking a kicker over Rondale Moore.
I like how we got a couple people actually bringing up. I'll get to Johnny here. We're talking about Justin Tucker right now. Yeah. No way, not above the 7th. Okay.
Like I said, if it's a Janikowski, maybe, right? If you know this guy's going to hit 70-yard field goals every day, automatic, no problem. I never have to drunk, high, fucking hungover. I don't care. He's hitting the field goal with his eyes closed. Then yes, maybe. But even still, you have to not have any holes. You have to not have any holes on your team, because if you have holes, then you're leaving holes open.
Sitting there hitting 75-yarders, fucking having Viagra. Yeah, I want that kicker too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I mean, if you have no holes, sure, but
I like this one too. Man, kickers made mad Lucci. Rodrigo Blankenship was a walk-on, and he stands to make just under $900K next season and doesn't have to take a single hit. So that's actually my point, is what I've tried to get, say, my son into. Soccer and some of these other sports, like there's chances to get grants and scholarships in other colleges and, you know, universities. If he can just kick and he's clutch in high school, like just doesn't miss or, you know, hit some long ones and stuff like that, some college will be like, do you want to come in and kick here? Goes there, goes through the draft process, picks up, sits on somewhere. Even if he makes it to the NFL and just sits on a practice squad, he's making more money than he would in 3 years in the CFL.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, you're not wrong.
And we've seen what Pat McAfee has done. The story of Pat McAfee is a little different, you know, Plum and the soccer and everything like that. Yeah. But he at least went through the process and he got like $1 million.
Did you see him tell the story of the day he got drafted?
Which one there?
Well, he told the story on his draft day. So he got a call from, I think it was the Pats or no.
The Steelers.
Was it the Steelers? Okay, yeah, the Steelers. They said, we're going to take you tomorrow at whatever pick. And then that pick came, they didn't take him. And he was like, well, right, shit. And then, anyway, then the Colts called him. And so him and his family were upset that he didn't get taken. The day ended, and he was like, well, I'm not drafted. I'm not going to the NFL. So they just got blacked out. Like, they just partied. They got blacked out. And he got a call from the Colts after. And he was like, he's crying on the phone. He's like, I was drunk, man. He's like, I was drunk when I got drafted in the NFL. He's like, I barely remember it. I was like, oh, boy.
Johnny D says I would give up a third for Tucker. I don't even think I'd question that in real life. If you told me that I'm
still only doing a fourth.
Nope. If you told me that for some odd reason we're bringing the Buffalo Bills into Canada, I am making sure we are not losing those close games. I'm going to go trade a third, and I'm going to go get Tucker.
But again, yeah, I mean, it's entirely situational. But yes, I would do a third depending on how my team looks. I would do a third, but just never a first or second. Because first and second guys usually are very either NFL ready or close to NFL ready players that can be impactful on your team immediately, right?
Also agree. Wasn't Raiders taking a punter in first with Ray Guy?
They also did that, yep.
Did they take a punter in the first?
Yeah, Ray Guy was I'm pretty sure the only punter to ever be drafted in the first round.
Wow.
Wild.
Shit, I didn't even know that. Zagnif Production says, wonder where Rodrigo played his college ball.
Yeah.
And where was that again? That was
Georgia.
It was Georgia, right?
That's why he's saying that. You know?
Okay. For a second there, I was like, was it actually Georgia? I could have sworn I remembered him. That's right. Okay. You won't know that before they play a while. Trade for a kicker like that. Draft? Hell no. And he says, kicking is high stress, Andrew, once again. Why would you do that to him? Kid will spend all of his money on strings. You want to know why? Because I don't need him spending all of his not that much cash when he's a hockey player dealing with CTE and all the other stress that comes with that.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'd rather him deal with the stress of that rather than being a quarterback, because some of the stress you get with being a quarterback. So, though I'm not going to lie, my son's got a fucking arm
just tell your son, just turn your son into a quarterback and give him to do what Andrew Luck did. Cash in and retire and just fuck the team over completely. Don't go to worry too much about
Yeah.
Yeah. I still will never forget that draft day at
I won't either.
Wild Wings.
Fuck Andrew Luck.
Is Wild Wings still like open?
I don't know.
It is still open, Chris?
Oh yeah. In Sher Park? Like yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go there and do the draft this year or something.
I'm down.
Yeah, we got to do something there again.
I mean, there's in my opinion, there's better spots, but sure.
I mean, if Shanks was still open, I love Shanks. Shanks was dope, man. Shanks, I told the fiance, I'm like, you might just have to come pick me up some of these weekends from Shanks, because like This is fucking greatest little sports play. And I was the only Buccaneer in there for a long time wearing my Evans jersey and watching Winston throw a pick six in his first ever toss in the NFL. I was like, fuck, this is a great time. Love it. Fucking. Anyways, gentlemen, we're almost at 2 hours. So we're going to wrap up the show. Went from an hour to 2 hours because we not only had a lot of people in the comment section today with some good conversation about the playoffs. We didn't actually get to the two Dynasty
do we want to talk about those quick? Like, I mean,
I guess we got 6 minutes here. We could do that. Crunch it in for the 2 hour mark. We got two people that we were talking about in Dynasty. The trade values for them currently right now for off season. Because right now, a lot of leagues have opened back up. Trades are open. Everybody's going out and grabbing these players that you want for next season that you think are going to help already. I am taking a step back from doing that because I did that last year around this time, and it worked ish. At least Jonathan.
Based on what you were expecting, it did not work.
No, the Jonathan Taylor one fucking went off, man. God, that was such a great one. But we're going to talk about Javonte Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So one of the questions that I saw on the internet right now, and I use this pick right now because this pick specifically has already been used in a trade in our Dynasty League. The question was, would you use pick 107 in the rookie draft and trade for Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Hold on. Was it would you use or was it would you take?
Would you if you had the 107 pick right now for this upcoming rookie draft, would you use that to trade to somebody for their Amon-Ra St. Brown? So Amon-Ra St. Brown at the end of the year for the last
you know how I feel about St. Brown?
Sell.
Honestly, though,
sell.
So because think about the start of the year when Hawk was healthy and when Swift was healthy, how much damage did St. Brown do? Not much. I'm not saying he's not a good athlete. I'm just not saying that he's going to be consistently doing what he did in that last couple weeks when Hawk was down and Swift was down and they really didn't have options.
No,
right?
You're not bad.
But if I have St. Brown, if I have St. Brown, I'm trading him. I'm trying to trade him with what people are paying because people are offering first. People are offering, like, there's trades out there that are just insane for this guy. I'm like, if I have
107,
100%. Yeah. Well, I said 100%. If I have him, I'll take the pick all day without question.
Yeah. What about you, Alex?
I'm not trading the first round pick for him. I'm with Chris on this. I'm selling because he put it out there plainly. He's not going to be the only guy in the offense next season like he was the second half of the season.
No, they'll grab another wide receiver.
To me, at best, I think he's going to be in fantasy a wide receiver 2.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver. He doesn't have. He has the athletic. He's a great athlete, and he does have talent. I'm not saying he's not a talented player, but he's not a wide receiver 1. He's not going to be like a D-Hop or a I don't know. And
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Thank you. I'm kind of stumbled there for a second, but he's not a wide receiver 1. He's not a guy that week in, week out is going to have 20 to 30 fucking points. He'll get a modest like 11 to 12.
Consistently put in your flex.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, strong flex, wide receiver 2, like a fringe wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, or a flex kind of player. Yeah.
And I'm in agreement with the rest of the guys here. If it's the 107 pick, as of right now, just before, I'll keep the pick. And it's only because there's the 3 different off seasons that we know of, right? There's before the rookies are even drafted. There's after they're drafted, and then there's right before the season starts. And we're in that process of we know about the rookies. We just have no idea where they're going yet. So I agree with that. The Javonte Williams one, on the other hand, is if you had pick 107 and you had a chance to get just Javonte Williams for pick 107, would you do it? Let's start with Alex this time.
I would.
You would?
I would. I think Denver's pretty much going to go one or the other because they're paying Melvin Gordon way too much money. So to me, I think Javonte's their guy, and I think he's shown that. So I would definitely throw the pick at Javonte.
The best thing I've read so far, like word for word, I read this on Twitter or something like that, and it, like, to me, is exactly correct as far as the Denver running back situation goes. The guy said that Melvin Gordon is very good. Unfortunately, this season, good got in the way of great, because Javon Williams would have been way better. He would have had an incredible year if they would have just gave him all of the carries. Like, instead of this split back bullshit, they would have just been like, you know what? Like, we're trading Melvin Gordon, we're cutting him, whatever you guys want to do with him. And we're running this guy. Like, that's the guy. To me, that's the guy. And if you have him right now, or if you don't have him right now and you have an opportunity to get him, I would take it. I would take it if you have an opportunity to get him. And if you have him now, I mean, if you're set at the running back position, you go and you can trade him, but make sure you're getting a good return. Your return should be a very good return.
Every single day since the new league has switched over, in the COVID league, I am deflecting trades for Javonte.
Yeah.
Like, I've had Darnell Mooney and Javonte Williams trade offers sent to me every day, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Javonte for sure in the top 10, possibly in the top 5 for fantasy running backs next year.
I think he's the next Jonathan Taylor. I think he's that one that a lot of people are thinking.
Like I said, top 10 for sure, possibly top 5. If
I think it
really depends. It really depends on how the Broncos play next season.
Not only that,
you can only do so much as just a running back, right? But if the Broncos as a team are better, then he will be better as a whole, right?
If it's an Aaron Rodgers that comes in, even if it's a rookie quarterback that comes in, gonna get the carries. Like,
imagine Russell Wilson and Javonte.
Imagine Aaron Rodgers and Javonte. Like, Aaron Rodgers just having like an Aaron Jones. Like, we've seen what Aaron Jones does in Dynasty or even in fantasy all the time, right?
Yeah.
What I also wanted to state on that, I think the best value for Javonte and the Broncos is in the offseason, you let Melvin Gordon go, or you try to trade him for like a late round pick, like if somebody wants him. And what you do is you go after one of those Georgia running backs in like the 3rd round or the 4th round, depending on how far they would fall. And you just do like a Buffalo Bills with the Devin Singletary and the Zach Moss. You have 2 guys, one that's a little bit better than the other, but you still have 2 guys no matter what happens. So I also agree. If I had pick 107 and someone said, you give me that pick and I'll give you Javonte, I would do that.
Done.
I would do that for sure. All right.
I have pick 106 and I'm doing that.
Yeah. Now, when you get to like pick 105 or 104, that, for me anyway, until we know exactly where all these rookies are going, I would wait, because
I'm waiting. But I said right now, like, I pick 106 for me in North Sports anyway.
Yep.
If somebody offered me Javonte, I'm taking it. No thought, no questions asked.
And at 5, I'm still considering it. Like,
and I have 3, and I'm like,
especially because in North I have Melvin Gordon. So even if that is still a thing next season, I got them both then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's also it's an added bonus. I got them both. It's just, then you got to have that battle each week of who's going to have more touches. But we added that extra flex spot now. I'm starting them both. Fuck it. Like, I'll just start them both. Denver runs the ball, I'm getting points. I don't give a shit how they do it. I'm getting points if they run the ball.
Yeah.
Zegna says, yeah, Rob, but Ray Guy was once in a lifetime punter. That's true. Okay. I'm gonna have to look that up and see this punter for myself, because I think I've only heard of him once or twice. I just didn't know he was a first rounder.
I missed a lot in the Hall of Fame too.
Until Pat gets in there, but yeah. No, I missed a lot. Damn you, Hans Gruber. B-dubs is aight, and even then it's just aight. Fair enough. Fournette has been deactive for the Buccaneers. Uh-oh.
Really?
I don't know about tomorrow. This is not looking good. David and Globin accrue.
I think that means Gio.
Yeah. I would give my number 1 wide receiver for St. Brown, and then he's got the rest in there in a second. Great show as always, gents. Got more work to do. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you,
too, man.
Have yourself a good one. Johnny says, give me St. Brown. I'll laugh all the way to the playoffs with him. I watched that guy turn into a serious weapon when no one else was there getting the ball outside TJ. They couldn't stop him. Hey, Johnny, like I said, I would love to have you in our next Dynasty League. We can even come up with an agreement where certain things can be waived if you just join us, because I want to send you offers all the time and make you sweat. So And then he laughs at that. Chris has dropped his Twitch, which is DubSauce55, down in the comment section. Give it a follow. Give it a like. That's where we're going to start possibly doing some of the streamings.
That's like, I'm going to start. I mean, I did it today, and I'm going to start doing it and moving forward. I mean, I have to talk with you guys more, but I'm probably going to come around as often as you guys will have me. Whenever I'm on, I'll have the show going on the Twitch as well. And I'm going to start doing a little bit of stuff too that you guys are more than welcome to jump in on. Just like on Sundays or during the games and stuff like that. If you guys are interested, I'm going to start doing a little bit of stuff like that. So yeah.
And we got a lot of off-season stuff that's going to be coming up. That's why we started getting some other guys on some other teams in there, because, wherever the Cardinals finish, we're going to want to know exactly what they're going to be doing in the off-season, and Chris is going to know firsthand what's going on.
The Cardinals are going to get dummied on Monday. Next Saturday, when you come to the show, be like, fuck no, man. Be like, fuck no, man. Get out of here. I don't want to be on your fucking show. I don't want to listen to you guys talk about the Cardinals losing. No, I'll be here.
Everybody knows that even if the Buccaneers lose, I'm going to be here live to talk about.
Watch. The Bucs are gonna lose to the Eagles, Cardinals are gonna lose to the Rams, and you're gonna sit here next Saturday like, fuck, man.
Yeah, me and Chris are just gonna be quiet, letting Alex talk about it.
Yeah, Alex is gonna be like, what's going on, guys? Like, nothing. You guys want to talk about football? No. No.
Oh, I mixed some LSD and weed once and got the twitches.
Oh boy.
I mean, I've mixed some other stuff before and got twitches, but it definitely wasn't that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to end the stream. It's 2 hours now. We got all the subjects in. We had Chris, our new NSD Cardinals analyst, joining us today. You can follow him at the DubSauce55 on Twitch. You can also follow him on Twitter, I believe, also at DubSauce55.
I think Twitter is just DubSauce.
Okay, DubSauce there on Twitter. And then you can follow him on Facebook. Add him up if you are a Cardinals fan or you just a fan of the way that he is on the show. We always talk sports. He's a big sports guy. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of these days, you're going to meet that Fat Mike dude, and you two.
Oh, you guys will have a great time.
Holy shit. That is the one show I am waiting for, is to get Fat Mike and Chris just talking about their teams, or just the Blackhawks and Oilers talk would be just hilarious.
Oh my God.
I don't want to talk about the Oilers, man. Fuck.
You don't want to talk about the Blackhawks.
I hate the fucking Oilers. Like oh man, I hate the Oilers. Like, I love the Oilers, but I fucking hate the Oilers, man.
Johnny says, great show, guys. Andrew, you got 2 more hours to go. No.
We pulled another 4-hour show on Thursday.
Oh no.
The second one.
Can't do it, man. My voice gets raw after a while. So, and of course,
I was gonna say, Andrew, if the Bucs win the Super Bowl again, are you gonna do a 24-hour show?
Oh my God!
I'd probably be drunk for 24 hours. I'd just put it on. Fuck it.
Gonna fire up Steve Yard by himself, just staring at the camera like fucking what's his name? Oh shit! Why can't I think of his name now on Twitch?
Yeah.
I'm going on Twitch now just to look. Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Nick Merckx, like fucking
Merckx.
the video! Like the video! Like just on his forehead.
Oh, Johnny with his Go pens.
Yeah, man.
Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, your fucking
Go pens. Fuck off.
You could also follow
Crosby didn't even make the All-Star game.
You can follow Loosemore on Facebook at Loosemore65. You can also follow him on North Sports Dynasty and on the NFL edition on Thursdays, and basically everywhere on social media as well. Big sports guys here today and going through into the offseason. Just because football is going to be dead here in a month doesn't mean that the offseason's got to quit, and the fun don't have to quit either, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in. I don't have the exit video yet. It's all coming in a couple of weeks. Everything's got to get copyright and infringement things first. So, and you know what? If it don't work, I got other things. We got a friend who's in a band who has offered a couple of songs, and we're going to check on that too. So thank you all again. Love you all. Shout out Chris. Shout out Alex. Shout out all the fans who've watched today. We will talk to you